Welcome back to the show. Ooh,
Sorry,
Angus. Your sweet dog is staring at the back of your head. You committed crimes?
I didn't.
Whoa! Kitty cat.
What is it you do?
God. What the
Yeah.
It's so crazy.
My house is full of incense.
So you're saying it's the game developer's fault? An individual game developer? It's a
Send
little
us
guy's
your
fault.
address.
Your mouth is too small for kids.
This workout is insane.
I knew it. Hello and welcome to Back Pocket Live from the Loki Studios on this Thursday, the 7th of December, starring... He's the highly strung dad you didn't ask for and you're not even entirely sure you need right now. It's Gus. He's not mad at you, but he definitely is very disappointed. It's Pete. She's multi-talented, very fashionable, and one of the best and worst women you'll ever meet in your life. It's Allie.
Hey.
He's the main researcher in a 12-month-long case study surrounding my tendency to drop things, and he also has the keys to my enclosure. It's Josh.
Let her out.
And me, test subject 483, otherwise known as Tonight on the show, we're gubbing, we're gaming, trash talking, advising, and more importantly, are contractually obliged to be chill like that. Welcome to the show.
I mean, that's
Thank
your
you.
contract.
I mean, I thought that was what the contract said.
Not for all of us.
Oh.
No.
So,
Yours has the chill clause. Yeah.
I mean, I kind of always knew that I was chill like that.
What's like that? What's that?
You know, like that.
Hey.
It's like,
You get it
No,
or
I'm
you
with
don't.
you now.
Yeah. It's like if
I'm completely caught up.
it's like it's like doing a little dance. And it's like, oh, I didn't know you were chill like that.
No, I'm
I learned
confused.
so much having you in the office.
Yeah. It's weird
don't
how
learn it, I
it's,
hear
it's
it.
weird how I'm
It
right
doesn't
about things.
sink in.
It's weird how I tell the truth all the time and I'm right.
Yeah, I mean that's mostly fair.
Thank you.
Yeah.
How are you?
Allie.
Hi.
Good to see
Good
you.
to see you.
You're looking beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm just gonna keep coming here.
It's the compliment couch.
Yeah, you're in
a
compliment
compliment
corner.
God,
I
I
love
come here, I kick your dog.
You come into my studio
come to my
and
studio,
kick my dog.
Kick my dog on the
Damn.
She
my
gets
daughter's
kicked all the
wedding.
time.
That
She
is
gets
an
kicked all the
old
time.
school.
She deserves to be kicked.
What?
She does.
She's always underfoot. She's always underfoot.
The
And
thing
she'll
is,
never learn.
it's not like she can't feel it because it's just kind of like she's just so much hair.
That's true.
Yeah.
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 There is like a force field.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's like all cushion. No pushing. I don't know what that means.
How are you, Alex?
so good.
Let's not explore that.
Yeah, let's steer away from that one. Nice to have you on the show. We've done stuff working with you in the past, but for those who don't know, tell everyone at home, what is it you do?
Gus. Yes. What the fuck?
Yeah.
How do we know you?
don't.
Let's go back. Let's go back in time to how everyone knows everyone. Let's do that. Peter.
Why? So you're an amazing game developer. Unfortunately, very recently, no longer working on a game.
That's fine.
But you're
you
still
got
working on
You
another
still got
one.
projects.
I'm working on other stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
you're working
I'm
on some
making a
cool
game
stuff.
called Mistakes, which
Yes.
is I think Ruby actually coined our new like log line for the game, which is like a game about the 4 worst bitches you've ever met.
Amazing.
Yes. Oh.
It's a haunted antiquing game.
Yep.
Yeah, it's great. I'm doing that, not doing the other thing anymore, and that's fine.
He's fine.
And I'm feeling great.
And Mystiques is very cool. It's still pretty early on in development.
Yeah,
I
we're-
think I played the alpha at
Yeah.
Powerhouse.
Pre-alpha, yeah.
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 And it's very cool. They're stunting, they're giving, they're serving,
That's
and
so
they
true.
also
What's
suck.
stunting now? I
Stunting's
understand giving and
You
serving.
know, stunting on them.
What?
That's an older one.
Like,
Is it?
yeah.
Oh no,
Wait,
okay, I know
physically-
stunting.
Yeah.
I know
Okay,
stunting.
right.
It's
When you're
it's like
stunting
it's
on
doing it's
Positive posing.
it's giving pose.
Okay.
Sure.
No, it's just
I
actually
love
doing
it when
poses.
you guys say stuff.
This
This is why I didn't want both sides of the couch like this.
Yeah, now we look old.
Good,
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah.
I think it's good. I feel
look
like
old,
it's like
don't
it kind of feels like where Francesca Scorsese and you are Martin.
Yeah, come on.
Is that right?
We're old, confused, and running out of life.
Yeah.
Yep.
But you make such good
Oh,
music.
in you.
Yeah,
reckon we could
during
go
our
there.
peak
That
out De
one.
Niro days, we were good.
Yeah.
We were good.
Yeah.
How's
How's your week been, Gus?
Can I just TJ Growler, big fan of the we're a big fan of TJ Growler, but was a big fan of your new look.
my new
Oh, yeah,
look?
'cause you had a
Yeah,
haircut.
you look like a human being
Yeah,
again.
I do. I look normal. Peter's very happy about the fact that I've gone from chic hobo back to young ABC Gus,
He
as
cut
I
his
call
hair.
it.
Young.
He used to look
I
like
never
Alan
said
Wake.
young.
Okay. Anyway, I've regressed back to...
You're a good-looking man, and you hide it under too much hair.
Thank you so much. I'll take a compliment any day. But
All
I
right,
miss my
and
hair.
now kiss.
Actually, speaking of
Your mouth is too small to kiss. You wouldn't be able to hit it.
He has no lips.
Peter and I, speaking of looking good, Peter and I both wore suits last night to an award ceremony. And we
Say it about yourself.
well, we suited up, and then
yeah,
we
okay.
realized that like no one else did.
I'm not either of you, so I can say you both look very schmick and handsome.
Schmick. Thank
you so
Handsome
much.
little boys.
We were, and we were overdressed at the event we went to
really?
because most people wore a suit without a shirt. It was one of those kind of bare-chested shirt and kind of events that we were a little overdressed
What
for.
kind of event was this?
TikTok
We went to the
okay.
TikTok
They were-
Awards. So we
Oh, we
looked.
do? Oh, no, you can't say that word
I can't say
yet.
that word yet.
Okay.
So I whispered it to Ali.
Yeah.
And then it
But
goes to the
my
microphone.
favorite part was that I went for the like vintage Mad Men grey suit with the like brown shoes and all that, and I finished that and came back to the office quickly to just do a little bit of work. And I had these the old aviator glasses, and I threw my like suit jacket over my shoulder and had all my stuff under. And I walked in, and there was Ruby walking back down the hallway finishing her stream. And you were like walking in all like flustered from playing Mario. And I'm walking up being like, I'm heading back to the office to work late. And you're like, I collected 2 more stars as you ran down the hallway.
I was so excited. Because, like, mind you, the stream I did, and I think anybody watching can attest to it, I got distracted at a few points.
Just a little bit?
No.
To a point where, like, everybody was like, let's see if Ruby's actually going to get to the next star. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to speed run it. And I kind of did. I did it very fast, but I did get distracted. I ended up drawing, like, 5 of the Booster brothers, because Booster is kind of like...
Wait, you stopped and did art midway through the game stream?
Yep.
Ruby, we need to finish this before the
We've
end of
had
the
this
year.
conversation.
You've only got a certain amount of streams left before
I think you
contractually.
should make as much art as you want.
Yeah.
We can do art streams.
Yeah.
Oh, that's because you're on that side of the room. Fine.
Thank you. This is the couch of letting Ruby do her funny little things she does.
Well, you reckon you're maybe 2 more streams away from finishing that, which is
Yeah.
1.5.
Yeah. 1.5. But it was God, that game's an absolute treat.
You're enjoying it still?
I'm
Yeah,
absolutely loving it. And I've got more buttons on my soundboard, so I've been doing a lot of different fart
Let's
noises.
be honest, it's farts. It's all farts.
It's farts, it's audience
Fart.
it's audience responses, so like claps.
Oh, you got some
Okay,
live
you got
audience
some
and stuff
laughters
done?
and
Good.
some booing. There's something kind of like humbling but also empowering about pressing a button to boo yourself. It's very, it's almost self-soothing in a way, but in like in a critical sense.
Okay.
It's
But
like
if we booed you in real life,
never
Can we
do
try
that. Don't do that.
Okay.
Or do
Sure?
it.
we'll give it a little.
Do it. Do
Should
it.
we
Do
try?
it.
Midway through the
Boo and
show.
Just a
cheer.
tiny
Boo-
boo.
Catch her off guard
Okay.
when she's forgotten. See,
Let's kick things off with a little bit of news. That's a little bit of backup.
applause.
The whole
You guys
point.
need to talk for a little bit longer.
Oh,
We can talk for a little bit
that's
We totally
fine.
will.
In that case,
Yep.
stop booing me. No more booing. But it's been a really fun time. I love Super Mario RPG, and I think as I've been playing it, I've kind of been realizing just how.
Stop kicking the
Girl,
dog
you
out.
good?
Here comes a big stretch. Yeah. There it is.
I've been realizing just how many games that I've played and loved have been influenced by Super Mario RPG, which
Yeah,
I think is really, really
sure.
cool.
Yeah.
Because I feel like this game was very much like a leap of faith for Nintendo and Square Enix.
The people who played it and loved it are going nuts about it again. The people who never touch it, myself included, are like, I don't want to dance in that realm of weird Mario. I don't appreciate the weird character designs that are in there because I didn't when it came out back in the day. We good?
No.
Yeah,
that's all good.
But the problem is like you need to just like play it.
Okay, good advice. Have you played it, Ali?
No, I haven't.
No. I want to just quickly ask, because you were talking about streaming games, and as someone who's designed games in the past, have you ever streamed your own game or watched someone else stream a game you've worked on?
Yeah, there's nothing worse than watching someone stream a game that you have made. Like,
Yeah.
especially like the day that it comes out.
Yeah.
Like,
Josh is just politely chatting over there
Josh is
while
on
we're
a
here. But you still did it? You still watched?
oh, you have to watch. You have to watch. Like, so
Okay.
Rumu, the day that it came out, Rumu's a game about a vacuum cleaner with feelings.
Yeah.
That was like the like my life's work. You know? So I put my whole soul into it. Like, it was, incredibly tumultuous development. And then the day that it came out, like the second it went live, we had people ready to stream it, obviously.
Yeah.
And then just watching somebody
Go the
play
wrong
something
way.
that you've seen so many times in front of you, but like experience it for the first time, and they're just like, oh, well, I'm just going to go completely another direction.
Like, we play tested for this.
Like, don't you understand? This is my life's work.
I would be.
Try playing my game, right?
There's
Yeah.
people in the chat being like,
Yeah.
did the
Did you
robot
get in
kill
the chat?
someone?
You didn't get in the chat, did you?
No, God.
Oh, God.
No.
Okay.
I would
You
never
should've.
speak to a gamer.
You should go into the chat and be like, "You're playing my game wrong, idiot."
I mean, we've had developers occasionally. You've had like
I played the Expanse Telltale game recently and had the Telltale team on the Telltale account in chat. And it is like, from someone playing the game's perspective, it's you feel like you have to perform better for them as well. It's like,
Yeah.
you should have got in there
Am I
and
doing
started
it right?
just putting the pressure on.
yeah.
Well, I think it's sort of like, do you ever have a dream where it's like someone else is piloting your body and you're like watching your own body move? Okay.
No, but I
Once
want to hear where
again-
you're going with this.
Once again, I'm realizing not all experiences are universal.
yeah. And you are live right
Sometimes you go
now.
online and it makes you think that when you go online, like all of your experiences are universal, because like you'll have like a weird thing that you do and you'll learn that like 3 other people do it. But sometimes there are experiences that only you have had, and
Yeah.
they're really weird, and you should feel
So
weird
different.
about
And you should air
Sometimes
them
you're
out.
a freak.
Sometimes you're a freak. And
You should
kinda
wait
messed
till you're
up.
live on the internet
Certified freak.
to air them out and realize that no, you are the freak and no one else has those.
That's what podcasts are for.
But was that what you were saying about the game? It was like potentially someone playing your game is like someone being in control
Yes.
of
Piloting
something.
your
Or,
game.
how about a dream where like you're trying to run and you can't run?
Yeah.
know,
You don't have
I
enough
like that
control. over it.
you tamed
Yeah,
the
yeah.
dream.
It's like-
Well, you know that other one that we all have. You know,
We're just testing the waters.
What
for
have I
how
heard in Hollywood
how
films
mentally
before?
ill everyone is, and I'll just dial it back a little bit.
Instincts Fallout. We all had that one,
Yeah,
right?
you know the one about punching underwater, right?
Yeah, and speaking of a game that someone made, let's go into a little bit of backup.
Okay.
Good segue.
Thank you. It was.
Saw you working on it.
I was like, who said something?
Yes, it is a little bit of backup. Welcome. Tonight, a little bit of backup is sponsored by Reese Wild. Oh, it's still going. Is this a full hymn?
That's going to be the first
Wow,
time
that's
I...
really going to eat into our runtime.
That'll be the first time I hear that one, because I'm
Keep
going
talking
to hell.
over it.
Reese Wild back at the segment sponsor tier. And for Reese Wild, we've devised a segment where we are going to play the soundbite of a wild animal, and the couch has to try and identify what that animal is.
a brilliant
Tonight,
game.
Gus has found the sound file, so Gus is not playing.
No, but
But
I
instead can
will.
cue the file.
I will prompt that. I just want to quickly point out as well. Welcome back, Reese. Lovely to see that you can be at a higher tier. You can leave for a while, but we'll welcome you back
It's lovely to
with
see.
open arms and open wallets. So thank you, Reese, for coming back. We're gonna play a wild animal noise, and in the chat, you feel free to play this one as well. But we're gonna avoid looking at chat because I'm gonna ask you all here. So Josh,
Okay.
if you'd be so kind, can I hear the sound of a wild animal? Oh, there's a little bit of a pause at the start just for dramatic effect.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
All right. There we go.
So I apologize to chat too. It is you're not. Your brains aren't breaking. It is only in your left ear. I don't know why.
Oh, okay.
File
It's
gas
pulled
sound
off.
was mono, but anyway.
That's right.
We got in Dolby. Ruby, was it you?
Oh, my first thought was like, I'm gonna make a joke about me, and then I thought I'm not gonna do that.
Yep, it's a wild animal. Well, I mean, technically, this is also just any animal, but
Yeah, I
they
was
can all
about
be
to
wild
say,
at one point.
My first thought was like, is it your cat? Did you just
Does have a
record
cat
this
kind of sound to
yourself?
it. It's not a cat.
Is it like a Tasmanian devil?
It is not a Tassie devil. Ali, do you want to have a stab at what wild animal that is?
Is it? I feel like it has like monkey vibes. Is it like, but not monkey?
It's giving monkey.
Monkey vibe.
monkey.
It's
So
giving
to
monkey.
me, that's like, is it like a lemur?
It's not a lemur, and it doesn't have monkey vibes.
So
It's not giving
because
monkey.
because it's a game
Did you see
and
it?
it sounds mammalian. I think it's not a mammal. I think it must be a little like skink or something, like a little gecko maybe. Let's go
It's a
gecko.
little gecko.
It's giving lizard.
Also, it's giving lizard.
It's giving lizard. What's
but
the
it's-
other word that I don't know?
No, stunting wouldn't
It's
work.
not
in this.
stunting.
Stunting skink. It is
Stunting
neither
skink?
of those things.
Okay.
We'll actually just watch the clip apparently, and this will be an easy way to
Apparently.
see what animal this is. Josh, if you wouldn't mind queuing up, it was an armadillo. Everyone,
Oh.
apparently, it was
I
not
just
hurt.
picked him up and turned him over.
Why'd you do that? Oh, it's like Mavis.
That is the panicked call of an armadillo in the
Being
wild,
held.
being held. And now we know.
I love
so
how,
cute.
I love how
Ali's face was perfect. Just
I love how the guy was just like,
It was
I
on
didn't
its side.
hurt it. I just turned it around
well,
so it
they're
would
all
freak
shell on
out.
top, so you'd kind of just be like,
Yeah.
hello, flipped them around. They all make it. Even the ones that are like, even the ones that are happy in enclosures that know people, they pick them up, they make that noise. So now we know. And
You don't
thank
know that's true.
Well, no, I've watched there were other clips.
Okay.
Yeah. And thank you, Reese, for not only sponsoring the segment, but also teaching us something about the Wild Kingdom.
About the armadillo. Are we
About the
starting
armadillo.
it, or we should start at Aardvark?
Fuck. Yes, damn it. Okay, we'll work our way down.
That would be a cheat. Normally, for a little bit of backup, we dive into a news story from the week. Tonight, we're doing something a little different, and I would argue heaps better, because tonight we have a dev interview from the creators of Gubbins. It's Darcy Smith and Jess Shippard. They're joining us tonight. Hello.
What's up?
We have
Fancy
to
seeing
stop.
you here.
Fancy seeing you
But
here.
actually, before we
Yeah,
get
you
started,
come
did
here
you
often?
guys guess it?
I
You
was
knew it was an
gonna ask,
armadillo,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, I for sure. From the start, I was like nailed it, hole in one.
Yeah. If there's anything I know about you guys is that you can always spot the sound of an armadillo. And like that's what I've
it.
always said about you.
That's so true. She's always saying that.
I'm always
I've
saying.
never not done that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now,
How you guys
Got
feeling?
one back here. Do you want me to grab it?
Yes,
please. Yeah, we want to hear it scream.
Tip that bitch.
It's asleep. Jess and Darcy, congratulations on the release of Gubbins. We're about 3 weeks post-launch, and it launched to great success. A lot of acclaim on this couch in particular. We love the game. How are you guys feeling 3 weeks after launch?
I mean, the few weeks like of it, we were just wrecked and working like 16-hour days and stuff. But now I feel a little bit like a normal person again, but still a bit manic. How about you?
Yeah, I'm like reclaiming sanity like forcefully. Like I just kind of like I spat the dummy and was just like, I'm not looking at this stuff for like a day or a weekend, you know. Yeah, now I'm feeling good.
Excellent. Guys, obviously we were saying we love the game and the public response has been really, really positive. Everyone has such wonderful things to say about it. How does it feel once it's released into the public? Obviously, people were playing this game early on, but like to actually see it go full release and the response it's had, again, obviously it's positive, but anything that's really caught you guys or surprised you since it's come out?
I was surprised that I wasn't completely traumatized by the release. Like everyone kept saying, like, you know, even if a game goes super well, like it's like letting go. Like it's just like you just fall into the same depression. And so far that hasn't happened. So that actually took me by surprise. Like I've been happy.
Just wait. just you wait.
Yeah, it'll go around the corner.
Go.
I reckon like throughout development, there was kind of a lot of the time when we were speaking to people, I don't know. I think I got the impression that a lot of people thought that there was something missing. Like they're like, the game is kind of good, but like I don't fully get how it's coming together. And I think that Jess and I knew that the postcard maker would like do its thing, like would really work. And I think that a lot of people just weren't able to sort of see how that would function or imagine how that would function out in the wild. And I would say that it's sort of exceeded our expectations in how many people are sharing stuff and how creative people are being with it. And like, and I think that that's sort of the missing piece. I think a whole lot of our friends were just like, oh, okay, this is what you're making. Like, I didn't quite get it.
Well, I
It's
wanted to
funny
ask as well.
like,
Sorry, Jess, please go
I
ahead.
was just gonna say, like, it's funny with devs because you'd think that they would understand that a game in progress is a game in progress, but I think that people just see the thing on face value and think that's the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Totally. I wanted to touch on, Darcy, as you mentioned, the postcards. We've got a few to look at later on in the show. But as something that was such an integral part to how well the game's done since launch, where did that land in the development process? Was that something you guys had right from the beginning, or was it something that as the game was being created? Because it is a strange thing that benefits games these days when done right, like you guys have done.
Yeah, I think like when we were making the game, we knew that like I think a lot of devs and a lot of games just go like they just whack a share button in their game and just expect people to press it, and I don't really relate to that. I just don't think that it's interesting. We like midway through development, we saw Wordle happen, and we saw that people like were sharing all of these like colored squares, and we were kind of like, oh, they made it fun. Like they allowed you to show how you navigated through this really simple game without spoiling the game itself, and we were really inspired by that. So early on, I think we were like, God, the turbo version of this is like an Instagram, like an Instagram sort of like collage maker. With the words that you've made, and we kind of got onto it. And then the final piece of it was combining, we had a score screen and then like a button that said share, like, and then we combined them, and like they did the like Dragon Ball Z fusion dance, and we just like threw you into a share screen that had the score stuff. So like, because if you have a button that says like go down this weird dark room that says share, nobody wants to be in there. That's a weird room. There's only freaks in there. But if you have like, if you just are in the room, then you're like, it's not that bad. Then you're one of the freaks.
And speaking of freaks, I mean, obviously there's been like a lot of really great responses to the game. What has been in your eyes kind of like maybe one of the more surprising responses, like something you've seen someone say that's like stupid and fucked?
Whoa, kitty cat.
Whoa.
She's never been up there before, but tonight she decided that she was just going to hide behind that vase. So
Tonight's the night.
She's like, I am famous.
She heard Ruby drop the F-bomb. She's like, I'm having no part of this interview. I'm out.
She's scared of my costs. But yeah, have you seen any like kind of responses to the game that have maybe taken you aback?
Yeah, there's stuff that was happening today. You should.
What happened today?
Oh, like so. Weird, like sort of
remember.
extension of the game's ethos is that the internet science explainer, best-selling author, New York Times best-selling author Hank Green is an investor in the game and sort of helped sort of share it to the world. And in return, we're giving like 10% of the game's money to charity, which is super sick, and we're super excited about it. His brother, also a more famous author, John Green, is like publicly waging a war against like pharmaceutical companies in America about like the accessibility of tuberculosis vaccines or medication generally, and sort of like trying to make it more like accessible to the world, and especially areas of the world that can't afford it. And a whole bunch of people decided to like jump into Gubbins and start making postcards that were like in protest of like pricing and like the sort of price gouging in medicines. So they're like making postcards in Gubbins to protest this like awful thing in the world or try and get change. And that is like bonkers.
Is that going to suddenly confuse all the policymakers and all these stuffy shirts getting all these protest things, but done in this one art style that they're like, I hate what they're saying about me making all this money, but I love how they're done.
Yeah, the color scheme is fantastic.
I'm just like responding to people's messages on Twitter, and I like see a red dot just on Jess's face, like a laser light.
Interesting.
I did
They're
love
like, we need to take down the Gubbins developers immediately. The postcards are too fire. They're too fire.
I mean, at least, and I think it talks to the look of the game and the like kind of the ethos of your company and everything around it, it would never go the other way of becoming a Nazi propaganda machine. That tool set. But if people are taking it and running with it and doing and building signs out of it, they could. Are you prepared?
We were scared. We were scared. We actually prepared like a whole bunch of features that like aren't getting used right now as like protection measures for if people start misusing our game. Okay. And I swear to God, I'll kill the game myself if people misuse it. Don't make me put it down because I will. But right now, I haven't seen one example. Really.
Well, I think it's such a testament to how wonderful the art style is. Yeah. Jess, your role was about supervising a lot of the visuals in particular, or sort of...
Yeah, like art direction, graphic design, and then biz stuff with Darcy, bit of everything.
So I wanted to ask specifically, and we'll get to this possibly with the ones we look at, while we're not talking as extreme as Peter mentioned, seeing this lovely art style get used to create, how do I put it? A lot of
Smart.
A lot of postcards that people instantly kind of want to juxtapose the look of it with some rather interesting messaging. Did that catch you off guard, or was that happening right from the start? And you guys are like, let's run with this.
I mean, there's sort of two thoughts on this. One is that like I spent a lot of time trying to make everything like super precise so that postcards wouldn't look messy. They would look like tidy and typography would be perfect and whatever. And then we just ran out of time to do all that. So it just kind of is what it is. And so that was my
By the way,
focus.
Nobody sees that. Everybody loves
Hang on, no, I will say that. I'm sorry. We're all sans serif? No serif? What's going on? You just happy to just completely disregard that element of the font library?
No, I mean, I've thought about that as like a post-release thing. I don't know if it really goes with the style, but...
We're having the most niche conversation right now that no one else is interested in.
Now I'm getting serifs and sans serifs mixed up. That's good. But like, honestly, the best part has been seeing like people make weird little creatures and just like take it far beyond what we ever thought. Like I knew the dick jokes would come, and we want them to because like it's fun and it's silly and life's serious enough and it's a rough time for everyone. So we love that. But yeah, no, it's been the best.
Yeah, and I mean like you kind of mentioned, putting stuff down and also art design the other a little bit ago. And speaking of putting things down and the art design, you've had a few copycats. What's that been like? Because I feel like that's, in my eyes, it's cooked, but at the same time, it's an interesting thing of like, you've kind of come up with such like an interesting and unique idea that
you'll look too fire.
Your bitch too bad.
They're gonna kill you.
They'll kill you. But your shit's too rockin' that people who are making like match 3 games are like, all right, we're gonna make this game look exactly like Gubbins. What's it been like navigating that?
I mean, we don't like we care as in like go away, but like we also think it's just funny. And I think if there was none of that, I think we would have been kind of like, oh, we haven't really done it properly.
Sure.
And I feel like it means that Apple hasn't shown us properly because these people haven't seen it. So we're like, yeah, do it. But also, if you exist, we're gonna squash you.
Yeah. Like,
yes.
Even the knockoff that turned up like quite quickly, that I think they must have like taken our store page and like posted it on Fiverr and just said, "Hey, remake this." I reckon that game looks fire. Like I reckon it like relative to other games that are just like just like churned out like really low budget sort of schlock. Like at least it had some like color and some punchy kind of vibes. Like. I want to play the rip-off Gubbins.
I mean, yeah, it's what is it?
Oh,
Scotty, what was that?
Go get it.
Scotty, who was that?
Who was that?
Who was that?
Oh, who's that?
Who's that?
And this is the part of the interview where the dogs will just discuss the next part entirely.
Take it
We'll
away,
all
pups.
leave. They can take care of it.
Put them on the mic. Yeah, it's good.
I wanted to quickly ask, I'm sure if anyone has any more questions, just a minute. Is the adjective, is it to Gubbins, to gub? I've seen people in chat being like, I gub every day. Have you guys come up with a phrasing that you feel comfortable
Gubbing
with?
off,
I think people just kind of did it. Like we weren't really pushing that. that kind of thing. But then people just started using it in every context, sort of interchangeably.
Yeah.
And I think it maybe started, I don't know, because we're kind of using the word gubbins sort of grammatically incorrect, because I think gubbins is the singular. It can be used like that's a gubbins, which
Yeah,
but
okay.
I don't like how that sounds and feels in my head. So I always say gubbin. So I don't know, maybe we broke, like we defied the rule, like stepped a little bit, and then everyone was just like, let's destroy this word. And
Well, we've had an audience member come up with the perfect phrasing. The way everyone would turn around and say, "Have you done the Wordle for the day?" Dolphin Pants in the chat has said, "Have you gubbed one out?" So
that's good.
there you go. That can be. You can have that for free.
I'm sure
I've
you've heard them
several
all.
out. It's my full-time job.
Oh,
to
go
gub
gub.
out.
Oh, hello.
Very
That's
good.
out.
I mean, congratulations on such an amazing game. We do have our audience is super into it. We're super into it. We do have some postcards that our audience have made that we wanted to present to you.
We'd love you
they were
to-
excited to show you.
You're welcome to judge, to applaud, to boo, to hiss, to just awkwardly, silently judge. The first one here we have is from Kenny Hoggins, who just has check deadly emails with one of your lovely gubbins there, the padlock, which I love it
I
when...
hate it.
Well, that's the thing. I love it when anyone just makes one of the characters just look more sinister.
I hate the padlock so much. I remember when I first started playing Gubbins, I was like, I hate
Padlock must
you.
go.
And
Yeah,
now
Ali
I'm
has dreams of not being able to move or whatever, and I have dreams of the padlock just floating in the sky above the world.
Yeah.
Like an ominous space.
You're trying to fight
No,
it.
but we've all had that dream.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's normal.
That's a normal dream.
I think the bad gubbin that people like the least is like so indicative of like their personal character flaws, I think.
Totally.
Oh, that's
All right,
interesting.
so what's my deepest flaw, Jess?
I think it's probably you can't you're not patient. That's probably the vibe.
That's actually so true. That's actually really true.
I know, because the padlock actually isn't that bad. It's
No.
like, it's already set. I'll just do
I'll
3
work around
moves and then I'll come back.
Yeah,
A
but
lot
like,
of the gubbins are
I'm
meant to
busy.
be like little hurdles for you to elegantly leap over, because it's fun to leap over a little hurdle.
Oh, yeah, very little.
I
Dick
love
Squad?
the Eerie Dick Squad. That's
Yeah.
I'm guessing that both the
Yeah.
microphone and the pencil being vaguely phallic, they're
Yeah.
the Eerie Dick Squad.
Some
Well,
of
like,
the
it's
tangents people draw with them are like, that's what you got out of that. It's like that they can turn that one character phallic. It's like, sure. Yeah, if
Yeah.
it's put in the context of the Eerie Dick Squad, anything's possible.
Yeah.
It's like
Hugaholic is in the chat right now and said yes, that's exactly what the idea
it's like
was.
what
Yeah,
if
okay,
it's like
Confirmed.
what if your meat was haunted?
Oh my god.
But also like your boys was too.
She talks in
if
gubbins
that's
now.
why
I
If
don't
meat was
understand.
haunted, yeah.
Nightmare.
Yeah, what if your meat was haunted?
Yeah,
sorry,
I
Darcy,
wake
what
up
was
in a cold sweat from a nightmare about my dick being haunted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You clock your gun.
Well, these
and you're
probably-
like, "Dick's haunted."
Meat's haunted.
This
Need
one
meds.
gets the most use. The giant pouring the liquid in the mouth. I think you opened yourselves up with that one. So this was the safest of all versions from Horrible Carriage.
I like that you said liquid because it just means that there's a bit more interpretation there. I only think of it as coffee, but like
Yeah.
It's
You're
a
right,
brown
yeah.
liquid.
So, like, actually
people don't
more
think
weird.
of it as coffee.
I think I was introduced only through people's Gubbins postcards, so I've never
yeah.
thought of that as coffee.
Shouts out very specifically to Nicole Archer's P, which is one of my favorite ones.
Well, we'll burn through a couple more here. Peter sends Odd Boy. This
Oh.
one's specifically
That's
for
about
you.
me. I don't know. Is sending like giving and
Is that the when you like send Will on a task?
I don't, maybe,
Maybe.
but I don't send him anywhere. He just edits. He's in the one spot the whole time.
I mean, you can
Send
send
it.
You
Skipping
can send
Odd
him
Boy?
to the virtual world.
But we need to work out what sending is so we can apply it to
I
Odd Boy.
love the theory that sending is the evolution of giving. Like
Yeah.
sending odd boy.
Are you sending?
Yeah, once I gave,
Full
it has been
sending right
sent.
Yeah. Are you
Yeah.
sending? Are you giving?
It's Wang P's lava. And
Huh?
no glitter,
Perfect.
thank
Oh,
you.
ow. Oh, this
this
no
is
true.
sculpture, you know?
It is.
Well, and here's an
I,
example of kind of what you were talking about, Jess, where you were seeing how like the stickers that are available being manipulated, things being manipulated in ways that you didn't foresee. I've seen corn on the cob, and it was,
Yeah.
I think, a bunch of that fire and some of those leaves, and like it's amazing what people are doing with the limited tools they have. It's just inspiring so much creativity.
Yeah.
Like it's Wang Pi's
It's like-
lava.
It's like the baby cheeses from Kath and Kim.
Yes.
Like it's like that. It's cool when people make stuff out of things that are not made to.
Oh dear, here we go.
Now because we're thinking about what we can add in terms of more stickers, and we kind of torn about whether or not we add things that are hyper specific and authored, or just like weird blobs and shapes that like people can play with and sort of like interpret like tea leaves. And
My
think that
vote's for the
there's
first one because I love seeing people break those.
Totally.
Ruby, you're happy with this one?
She's laughing at the.
Sorry, there's some dog in the background.
Your sweet dog is staring at the back of your head.
He really want some attention.
I really just love it so
That's-
much. Oh wow, just delightful.
Oh yeah, here he
Here he
comes.
goes.
Why she paid a rim hunk via anal mess?
Oh God, no.
Why
That's
did we
it.
put this
Real
one in?
question.
I mean, we'll burn through the next ones as we absolutely. I mean, that's a relevant.
Stuff I love.
Yeah.
I wanted.
Minimalism, I love a single word,
Yeah.
just like done a bunch of times. There's so many different things
Yeah.
going on.
Is there again? I hadn't thought about. Oh my God, this like the aesthetic or the art style.
That's great.
I love
good.
how the
That
art
is
style is kind of
good.
like.
It's really good.
Have you come up with a term for the art style? And is it like kind of like 70s that like HR Puffin stuff illustration? Like, have you guys coined a term for it?
Not really.
Someone said gubbin core.
Gubbin core.
Nice. You've got your own core? That's awesome.
But, I mean, really, we kind of like. I think it just comes like how we landed in this is we just kind of like trusted the illustrator to just like kind of do what he wanted to.
Sure.
And then like it's kind of like Jess defined like the rules, like the color and the stroke, and then Zach kind of like drew the gubbins with zero respect to animation and movement.
Yeah.
And then Georgia took
You
the
keep saying that, but I don't know if he would agree with you.
he doesn't animate his work usually. That like so and then Georgia took it and made it move, and I think that it just like landed in a really sort of like weird special place because we were like it's kind of like getting one of the doing that game where you get a note and like write a little bit of a story and then like fold it and they can't
Give it
see
to someone
the next
else.
and then you hand it on, and that's kind of the I don't know telephone game of game development.
How do we feel about upper Gubbins style?
Oh God.
Like
I feel
Psy.
great about that.
You remember that?
Darcy's a fan.
Yeah, the size super hot right now. It's like
Yeah.
He is.
it's that.
Have you heard Gangnam
Someone
Style?
make a Gangnam Style.
I was actually
Yeah.
listening to
Gubbins,
Gangnam Style earlier.
You know what? You know what's so crazy? I was also listening to Gangnam Style earlier. I love
believe that.
song.
Bring it back.
A fully animated
to
music
say
video
someone
using the
must be.
gubbins for Optum Gubbin style. I would watch. That would
Yeah.
do viral.
Yeah.
That'd do.
I
Viral.
think you could make Psy.
that would do viral.
That would do viral. Now you're
That
doing
would
it.
do
Now we're
viral.
talking like
That's it.
Gubbins.
Yeah.
That would go internet.
Well, again, finally to just say as well, as you mentioned, I think just before, that the fact that everything goes with everything so well, this was the quickest overlay framing I've ever done because I just grabbed the art and threw it all down. I was like, everything looks amazing instantly. And like a testament to the postcard Instagram style, like nothing clashes, which is such a skill, such an art. And like, yeah, again, you guys have done such a fantastic job with this. I can't wait for the animated TV show version of it that I want to watch.
Yeah.
So you're 3 weeks post-launch. You've got new words going in pretty consistently. You've got maybe some new stickers to play with and some more art coming. But what's the next 3 weeks look like for you guys?
Little Christmas update is planned. We're going to give some people some stickers.
Hot off the press. Yeah.
Hell yes!
An exclusive.
We are.
Yeah. What else?
Yeah.
Darcy's adding some more memes into the game, probably.
So there's like
Right.
there's quite a limited number. Like there are a few hundred like little references in the game. Like if you put in a word, it'll give you another like a call and response system. So like if you put in Luke, it'll say like Luke, I am your father, kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And Hank did a call out and got like his audience to just like bombard him with references, like the word and then the response that the game should generate. And I'm currently by hand digging through thousands of these responses and picking the ones that we like the most to go in the game.
So
Amazing.
he's like multiple days into this, and there's like 6,000, and he's only like 2,000 in. So
Yeah.
a lot of-
This is
a lot
way
of
better than the
memes.
time that I tried to trim our dictionary by hand. That was the most insane week of my life. But
That sounds horrible.
this is better.
So still busy is basically what you guys are saying. There's no rest now, even 3 weeks on.
Then when like Christmas, we're gonna walk away. We're gonna just like we're gonna burn the place down and just
Great.
run off.
You're just gonna quit
What, your
game
house?
development forever.
Yeah, that's the dream, Ali. That's that's the end goal.
And about him means looking away from Twitter for 3 seconds.
Yeah, that's-
So-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if that's not a plug for the game, for anyone who hasn't in our audience picked up and played it already, you've got only maybe 5 more weeks to play Gubbins before it's burned to the ground. So, but I don't even need to tell our audience because they are all playing it and loving it. And again, guys, thank you so much for making the time to talk to us and wish you all the best with the rest of Gubbins and what comes next.
And we love you.
Thank you.
Love you too, guys.
see
I
you.
miss
Aw.
Sydney.
Bring
This
it
is
in.
silly.
This is
We'll
funny.
be up soon, I reckon.
Yeah, please.
Excellent.
Love to.
Come over.
All right. We'll chat to you guys soon. Thanks again.
Thank you.
Bye.
See you guys.
And thank you
What a
so
delight.
much.
What a delight. Before we move on to the next egg, because I obviously lovely people made it a lovely game. You can find out more about the game as well because you had a chat with Darcy for Pocket Buds. There is an hour-long podcast that you can get some more insight into the creation of the game. And Darcy talks about a bit about that process of pulling the dictionary apart and rebuilding it for Gubbins.
Yeah,
So there's a lot more. If you're interested in them and the game, definitely check out that podcast.
One thing about me, I'm gaining more insight.
That's so true.
Thank you.
Accurate.
Thank you. It's a great podcast app.
Yeah,
It's really, really good.
that's awesome.
It's a good app.
Anyone else
Scotty
is
agrees.
good?
Well,
The next segment. Let's talk about what we've been playing.
there we go.
All right.
What we've all been playing is a segment that we talk about the games that we've been playing each week, and each week it's brought
Really
to us
brilliantly
by a
named.
patron. We did our best work with that one, and also someone who's doing good work. That'd be Nicrotex. So unfortunate they're dead now by the sound of that noise. Nicrotex is the patron saint of what we've all been playing, and as we usually do every week, we would read one of Nicrotex's tweets out live on the show. However, this week's a little bit different because, as you may or may not know, Nicrotex will be helping us out over the holiday break, as he's done in the previous 2 years by running episodes of Pocket Pals, which is a special fan-based viewer organized game show extravaganza with more moving parts in it than we've ever put into our show. And Nicrotex works tirelessly on this and also gets a heap of help from the team around. Specifically this year, he's got a bit of a team helping him out. And speaking of teams, there'll be teams of people battling it out in the actual show. And there's still a couple of slots open if you would like to maybe be involved. Now, we've been given this as a little message because there's a lot of people who've applied who've been on it already. And there's a lot of people who are applying who are blokes. And we'd love to see a little more diversity. So if you're...
None of this
None of
bullshit.
this. If you want to be more like couch number 1 and not couch number 2... and you would like to be involved over the holiday period.
This is a diverse couch.
Really.
Welcome to Twitch.
Yeah, exactly.
Welcome
Yeah,
to
we
Twitch.
wanted diversity, so we got a couple of white women.
Well, Ruby wrote this and said, not to disrespect to the fellas, but there are simply too many of us.
Which is true.
That's true.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
true.
Did I lie?
So you can go and sign up. Liz Dahlia has popped that in the chat there. There is a link to the Season 3s of Pocket Pal cast form that you can fill out and have a really, really fun time. We'll be there as well, jumping into the episodes.
Don't worry,
as,
there'll be white boys.
I meant we as in people from this show.
It's a white boy summer, I'm hearing.
It's a white boy summer.
You're hearing it more and more.
Okay,
Apparently.
Yeah.
So again, thank you to Nicrotex for sponsoring. Thank you to Nicrotex for running this amazing sort of arm of Back Pocket over the holidays. They're really fun episodes, so do make sure if you're not watching it, no, if you're not in it, you're watching it. But if you want to be in it, you can do that too. Great. Let's move on with the segment. And this week, I thought I'd kick things off because I've actually played a game hot off the presses that literally came out today that I was also contractually obliged to play, but I was really glad to play it as well.
Oh, yeah.
It's a game that's based on a movie that came out really long ago, if you think of it like that. But
Okay. Is it not based off the second one?
it's based off all
Both
of them.
them.
I
We're talking
went-
about Titanic.
We're talking about Titanic, the game.
Yeah.
Titanic 2, the game.
Yeah.
Have you
played the
played
iceberg.
Titanic Adventure Out of Time?
I haven't.
No?
Is it
Okay,
good?
it's like a yes. It's a classic like point and click adventure game.
Amazing.
But you know the ending.
Well, yeah, but
Okay. Ah!
because it's one of those
Click on
like
the iceberg, quick!
It's an iceberg clicker game.
It's kind of like that freaking Walking Dead game, Walking Dead Destinies or something.
Oh, don't talk about that.
It's not good.
They
but,
tried
like,
to change the stories in them.
Yeah,
Anyway.
the whole thing is like,
Yeah.
what if you could do the thing but different?
Really?
Here it
This
is.
quick, we got to a point and click adventure of Titanic 2, the Electric Boogaloo.
This is the
awesome.
footage you sent me, Gus.
This is not the footage I sent you.
This is the game you
this
played
is the
today,
game
Gus.
that
You played
played.
this, Ally?
Oh, so this is one of I'm gonna be a sap. I just got back from my honeymoon, and this game was one of the first things that me and my husband bonded over when we first started dating because he was obsessed with Titanic as a child. You know, those kids that are obsessed with
Don't
Titanic.
ask, do you know that
Yeah,
thing?
no.
Because no one will back you up here.
No, no,
we
no.
want to, but we
I am
can't,
not
Ally.
amongst my
I don't-
people.
I don't know. I've not met. I never grew up around children who were into the Titanic, but they were all, like it's the
just like
same
being
as
really into Thomas the Tank Engine.
trains or
Yeah.
like anything, right? It's like it's
Yeah.
There's
So
just a thing
it is
that
a
you
special
fixate on.
interest.
It's your husband's special interest.
Super
Well,
special
not
interest.
anymore.
Why not?
When he was a boy.
Now he's a man.
Yeah. And what's his
Anyway.
special interest now?
Ruby's adding segues on top of segues. We had footage for a segue just then that was not prepared. which is just
talking.
No, I get it. I get it.
Have a
His
conversation.
special interest now is PDFs, I would say.
That's cool.
PDFs.
Yeah, he loves to read
We need to
like
talk to him.
upsettingly formatted PDFs.
He likes to
Is he good
read those.
Is he good at layout?
Does he do good
Well, he
formatting?
doesn't make them. It's
Yeah, okay.
he just finds that, look, it's not important. What were you gonna
Do we
say?
have a clip of the PDFs? Apparently not. No, what we have a clip of here is Avatar Frontiers of Pandora, which is the technically the second Avatar game to ever come out. But this one is developed by Massive, who are a Ubisoft studio, and it was developed hand in hand with Light. Oh, I get it wrong. No, it's called something. They're the
I
team
have
that
Light Cycle in my head, but that's because Lightstorm.
Lightstorm, thank you. Lightstorm are the team who did all the special effects for both the Avatar films.
Wow.
So this is being sold really heavily as being called a canon game, which I've never heard that term thrown around before, but they're marketing pretty strongly as this was a game made hand in hand with the developers of the film, or the creators of the film. So everything in here is canon, is lore. There's nothing in here that won't be in the films. There's nothing in the films that isn't in this, essentially. It's marketing 101. It's like they want to make sure that everything makes sense and there's no developers going, you know what, now there's red avatars. And there's like, no, there's not. Or they don't want things
they
from the
all
film
blue?
that are too...
Are they all blue?
They're all blue. They're all shades of blue. Did you see the second one?
No.
They were kind of aqua. They were water ones. Anyway,
Okay.
Do
I
you think
digress.
Jim Cameron has played this?
Jim? Are we on nickname terms
Jim.
with Jim? Oh,
Hell
Jake
yeah.
My boy,
That's
Jim
my boy,
Cameron.
Jimmy
love
Cambo.
The freaking phone.
Jay
he
Cambo.
Jimmy?
Did you see him sitting down and like?
I totally could.
Yeah.
He's one of those people who I think, goes all in with any property he works on. And
I think he sits on the edge of the couch to play.
He's
Yeah.
basically dedicated the rest of his life.
Yeah.
well, that's the
I don't
thing.
think he
know.
gets comfortable.
That's the thing. Like, this is, there are 2 films out. There's potentially 5 being made. Still is the plan. And so to make a game that is trying to be very hand in hand with the films and very much a like watershed moment for IPs being tied to. Games being tied to existing IPs. Avatar's the perfect property for it because it's like Avatar was that film that they're like it's going to change movies, and it was big, but it kind of went away. And is this because of Titanic? I get it.
Mac and Dagda's on the.
Did you marry James Cameron? Is what everyone's asking. Are you Mrs.
Can you
Cameron?
confirm?
Oh wow!
Wasn't he married to? Anyway, don't worry about it.
No, you're right. He had a tumultuous breakup with someone.
He was married to the other director.
Catherine
Hurt Locker.
Bigelow.
Yeah, Catherine Bigelow.
That's right.
Yeah.
And then she beat him for the Oscar with Hurt Locker when he
Yeah.
was Avatar and Hurt Locker were up for best film at the same time, and she beat
Is that
him.
why they got
That's right. She
divorced?
beat his
No,
ass.
they were already divorced.
Oh,
it was
that's even
awesome. It was like a
funnier.
massive
Yeah,
power
it's
play.
like a
She's like,
bleeding
"Fuck you."
divorce.
I'm glad we're
Yeah,
here. Yeah.
I'm so sorry for the energy that I've brought.
Not at all.
No,
I never apologize.
I love it.
Never apologize for anything ever in your life.
Avatar. I'm a fan of the films just for what they are, but I don't think anyone out there is really like a diehard Avatar fan.
But that's what they said about the Titanic.
That's actually super wrong because there's like a very passionate sector of people who are like deep in Avatar lore and
Totally. There will be with everything in life, but I think the idea they were like, this will be the next Star Wars. This will be the thing that will change people's lives, and there'll be so much built around them. And it was kind of a weird phenomenon. Big film, did well, goes away, big plans, and then we saw one tie-in game that was, averagely reviewed. That is now being told is strictly non-lore and canon, because it does exist. It was developed by Ubisoft. They have to come out now and say, that game was just a fever dream. Yeah. This game is set in the current world. The context is you play a Na'vi who was on another side of the planet while the events of the first and second film take place. You are raised as a native Na'vi, so you're not an Avatar-driven one. You're a real Na'vi that is taken by humans and in captivity or trained in the human ways, the ways of the Sky People. I did watch the film the other night for research, and basically the way the story arc works is that you are those humans are pretty bad.
I watched Titanic the other night for research.
We watch it every night in my house.
You must not get much done. The humans are bad. They were actually, they were teaching you, they were keeping you captive. You break out, and so therefore the narrative makes sense in that you are learning the ways of the Na'vi and doing the same narrative beats the first film did, but as one of them, as one of the creatures without the human avatar driving stuff. Which I think, just as a little point, they very quickly had to get rid of as the story of the films. Once the first film's over, there's no need to be an avatar anymore. Sam Worthington becomes the blue creature. He lives with blue creatures.
Jake, sorry,
hold on, creature.
Alien race. And then they meet other tribes.
You clearly didn't understand Avatar the movie.
You missed the entire message.
Oh my god.
But now these films aren't about Avatar.
No.
A Na'vi. They're just about Na'vi running around.
But they're
in
stuck
the
with the Avatar
technology
title
and what
concept,
that is.
yeah.
But this game, to draw links, obviously, Ubisoft to the Far Cry series was made early on from a lot of people. Josh, you might want to scrub right to the end of this clip because the opening of the game is really about like getting you out of this facility before you go and see the open world. But yeah, the parallels between this and the Far Cry series, which are open world, sort of environmental focused first person shooting and traversing, is very obvious as you play this, but I would say what they've done with this game, I really enjoy in the first 2 hours that I've played today, which is that you as a Na'vi have incredible traversal abilities. You're very tall, which you learn from the crouching tutorial when you walk through a human-sized door, and that's the press B to crouch, because you have to crouch to get through a doorway. It beats every steaming pipe that I have to crouch
Ali, as a
under.
game dev, is that the most brilliant thing you've ever heard?
Do you guys know the door problem?
We've
never experienced it, but we know like
It's
it's
just
a
a whole
challenge.
new layer to the door problem.
Yeah.
What if you were really tall?
What if you were a huge guy?
But it's surprising how that hook of just being fucking tall is really fun and has not stopped being interesting. Like a couple of hours into the game, that like every time you see a human, you're like, oh my god, I'm massive.
Yeah.
It
What
does
if
stick
you're
with
a
you.
big dude simulator?
It is. Yeah, it totally is.
Yeah, it's called Knack, and it's one of the best games ever made.
So you move out into the open world or the semi-open world quite quickly, and then you meet other tribes. You are then basically set the goals of moving to a lot of the facilities that are polluting the area. You then have to kind of tag everyone around there, a la Far Cry. You zip in, you kill as many of them as you can, you bash them up as a giant person, which again, you stomp on humans. It's very satisfying. And then you move on. It's stunning.
I have just a couple questions.
Shoot.
So just in regards to like whether or not certain things are explained in the game, with the Na'vi wearing like human clothes.
Yeah.
Is it explained like whether or not the seamstress made them to fit these very large people?
So you can harvest fruit and food in the game as a way of... there's so much to cover in this game.
That's okay. I have another question, but you please go on.
The things I want to touch on is the idea that, I mean, it's an open world game in the sense that you are going to craft gear, you're going to craft armor, there's skill trees that add abilities, but it's all tied into the lore of the game, which when you play it this way, which is film comes out, game gets developed, and suddenly there are all these weird things in the movie that are very easily shoehorned back into being game mechanics or being tied to gameplay elements, which are, and again, not as a developer, but as someone who goes, oh yeah, to upgrade at a skill tree, I go to a tree and I tie my ponytail into it and I see all these petals bloom out and say what my skills are. It's stupid, but it's like, that makes sense in Avatar world, and that's a kind of fun feeling.
And it's really good that you bring up the tails, actually, because my problem that I've always kind of had with Avatar that I really want them to explain, but they never have. And James Cameron, he looks at me and he says, "I will never explain it to you." So I often wonder if this is the case in the game. Do they explain how? Because clearly you use your tail to connect with someone to make love, but you also do that with like a creature that you're riding, like a horse or a bird. Do they explain that there's like a difference?
No.
Okay.
I watched the film the other night and I was like, wait a minute. They just, and the horse and they're all...
I think it's about connecting your natural self with the thing that you're interacting with.
Hippie.
And so when they interact with a creature that they're going to, instead of putting a saddle, I can't remember if they actually put saddles on them.
They
and
do
stuff.
not.
So that's them connecting with the creature on like a really intimate level in a non-sexual way. Okay. But that's their intimacy tube.
So it's like
so when they're being intimate, they use the same tube.
So it's like
we eat with our mouths, but we also do other things with our mouths.
I was about to
That's
say
a good way to put it.
it's like kissing your wife, but also kissing your dog on the mouth.
There you go.
Yeah, and I'll do both.
Yeah, I know you do.
Anyway, back on topic really briefly before I finish talking about this game. The things I really enjoy about it, the world does look stunning. I think the harvesting and crafting, all that kind of stuff seems fun at first, but I can definitely see that becoming a bit laborious. I think the fact that while there is a lot of the UI info, when you're out in the open world, they've got a really cool designed element, which is that you just basically use your Navi vision for a second to ping things around the map. When you turn that off, you still get a sort of resonance glow on things that you need to be tracking down. And so as in terms of a HUD, it's quite minimal. And I think that really works when you're in the open world because it is stunning. It's like a really beautiful planet.
Gorgeous.
Everything does look great. So the fact that they've, for a Ubisoft game, stripped that HUD down to as minimal as they can, I do really appreciate. Whether or not I think the draw of go raid a base, go do a side activity, save some animals, rinse and repeat, how long that will stay interesting and how interesting the story beats are, I don't know. I'm 2.5 or so hours into the game. I think potentially, unless you are a real Avatar nut and this is just the world you want to be in, that might start to run out of...
I like the image of Avatar nut.
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of fruits. Yeah.
It's a blue nut.
It's a big blue nut. And yeah.
All right.
So, but I think, they've got a lot to work with. It's a series that has had more lore than it needs, and now they've made a game for it. And so I think that's going to pay off in spades for some of the storytelling beats. I'm going to keep playing it, and I do enjoy the little moments. There's a little moment of realizing you're fucking tall. There's a little moment of pulling off a fruit off.
being tall.
It's a really cool vibe. There's a moment of pulling fruit off a tree using the adaptive triggers on the PlayStation 5 that you have to twist the fruit the right way before it pops off the tree. Cool. There's just little moments like that. Skewering a human in a mech suit with a giant arrow. It's like there are the
simple pleasures in life.
The little pleasures. So
I like that it's like
manslaughter.
I feel tall and I have this wonderful new perspective on the world. I love picking the fruit. I love stabbing people through the chest when they're in their mech suits.
It's a lovely feeling. And the last thing I'll say, as I always say famously, is that the size of the world is huge. I always say this and then I keep talking. The size of the map is massive. The amount of different biomes that are there, and from the development in the actual environments looks stunning. The thing that's going to draw me through this game is not the story. It's going to be I want to see the floating mountains.
Because
I want to see I'll avoid it when I can. I want to find the pine forest area with the different biomes, and I want to see I want to see every creature that's in this game. That I think is the real draw card for this, and I reckon that's going to be a majority of the people who want to play this. Because again, I think people who are there to see more Avatar lore. I don't know. You might exist. I don't care.
Maybe you'll become an Avatar head. Or an Avatar nut.
Avatar nut, I believe is the term. But so that just came out today, and it's fun. It might be my weird summer game that I end up finishing and like semi 100%ing and surprising myself. But there we go. Rally
around Ali.
Let's rally around Ali for the next segment, which is Ali. What have you been playing apart from Titanic, the old point and click game?
Okay. So I haven't prepared as beautiful a review as you have. But I'm just going to tell you about my personal experience with this game.
Please.
Do you ever
That's it.
feel
No.
like
A plastic bag?
Yes, I love
you're
it.
trapped in capitalism?
Yes.
Yes.
All the time.
And sort of everything is just like spiraling out of your control, and nothing, like within your sphere of influence is meaningful. And like, what's the point of anything?
And have you got a game to talk about?
Do you ever get nervous?
So like, when I feel that way, usually I would play The Sims.
Yep.
Because I like to control everything.
A lot of people do that.
And
They use
I
it
like-
as like as a tool now
Yeah.
more than a game.
And it's like I can never buy a house, so in The Sims I can like build a house and I can control everything about their lives and everything will be great. And so that is not enough for me right now. So instead I'm playing Pocket City 2 where I get to control an entire city and
Okay.
everyone that lives in it and everything that happens in the flow of commerce.
This is scaring me. The hands down here. And then I crush
That was
them.
just the trickle down. It's coming.
That's the economy.
Is money.
That
this
is so-
city.
Yes, this is society. So
Money.
I love a city builder. I particularly like Pocket City 2 because it's on mobile, but it doesn't have any like energy mechanics. Like you can just pay $5 and just play the entire game.
Yeah,
So
great.
it's not like making me come back every day for a daily bonus or anything like that. Which is great. So it's not predatory. You just give them $5 and you get the whole game.
I mean, that's
Beautiful.
rare these days.
Yeah. Awesome.
It just literally does not exist other than this game. It's beautiful. It is also, I believe it's a largely a solo developer. Is this the camera here? This is the one that I'm talking to. If you made this game,
Oh, can we get close up? Josh, can we get
Yeah,
to zoom in?
close up.
I need your address
Oh, God.
because I believe that we have so much to discuss. Because there is a feature in this game. So you have everything you would expect from a city builder.
Are you done talking to them?
Yeah. I'm done.
Where do you live?
Where do you
Leave, to leave now.
It has the same energy as that like Russell Crowe reply.
Send me your address so I can visit you and explain my passions. Anyway, the thing that is most insane about this game is that it has everything you would expect of a city builder. You know, you have to manage your society, you have to make sure you have all the right, zones and all the right infrastructure to
I
make
played this
everything
game.
right.
Avatar. Sorry. He was blue for a second. It was a bad joke. Moving on.
But here's the thing about the avatar creation is you're actually playing as the mayor of the town. And instead of like, if you're playing SimCity, you're like playing a city that's evolving over like decades and centuries and whatever and becoming super futuristic. You're just playing day to day, like in real time in this city. So everything's quite peaceful and chill. You play as the mayor. There is a whole other game inside this game where you can go down to like mayor view and walk around your town.
What?
You can drag race people in your city.
What?
You can like receive quests from strange children that are hanging out in the library. You can go inside every building in the game.
Holy
you can
hell.
like find little items that have little quests associated with them.
Oh my god.
It is psychotic. I think like if a producer was associated with this game, this feature would absolutely have been cut because it doesn't.
So it's a no
It's
idea.
like,
It's a
we don't
bad
need this.
It
idea.
literally doesn't make sense, but also like when you're playing it, it is so delightful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love because the brilliant thing about it is that you build the building.
Here it is. It's free roam.
Yes.
You,
It's so crazy.
like
It's so crazy.
the little kid in the library
Also,
doesn't
like-
exist until you build the library. So the fact that you get to enjoy the thing that you're building in this perspective as well,
It's like
that's amazing.
You're God and you're also the mayor.
But also like his posture is crazy.
Also, the fact that like city builders,
He is upright.
city builders had that thing where it's like from a bird's eye or a god's perspective. Shitty design can be fine because you're like, well, it's a grid. When you go down into first person or third person, you're like, this isn't a town. This
do
is
you
a street.
mean?
What the hell is that guy's
What do you
vibe?
mean there's no footpath here? You're just walking on the highway?
Yeah.
You can ride horses. It's all kinds of stuff. Oh my God.
Amazing.
It's
What the hell?
so crazy.
Right.
It should not exist,
So-
but it is so great.
In terms of the city builder, though, like, is that Is that a concrete game?
Flows really, really nicely. Like if you're the kind of person who wants to like sit down and just play a city builder for like 2 hours and get the full experience, you can.
Yeah, cool.
And this sandbox mode, you can have natural disasters happen, or you can turn them off if you want to have more of like a cozy game type of experience. It's all there. Everything you could possibly want from like an iPad city builder and more. And then there is this whole other mayor layer on top of it.
So is that an optional kind of?
It's completely optional. You do not have to do it at all. It's just there for some reason, which is why I need your address.
I want to explain my passion.
Ali's going to turn up in a giant top hat and be like,
Are you wearing a producer hat in this? And you're going to be like, I need to help you, darling, because like.
No.
Or you love it that much.
You just gone full mayor mode and you just want to be able to walk into their house.
I feel like I should go into every building.
I can do this. I run this town.
I have that right.
I'm the mayor.
I think it's so genuinely really beautiful. Like as someone who's like my professional career in games is a lot of like having to deal with, okay, how do we make the most sensible decision about this thing?
Yeah.
To play a game that is like, this is just like someone being like, wouldn't it be cool if, and then putting that in a game, and it's so fun to play.
I love that.
I remember, I think the first theme park had it had a mode where you could go on the rides, but it just would play a really low rendered movie, but it wasn't in the Mac version, it was on the PC. And my mind was even blown watching people go on the ride that I'd been staring at from above. And then I'm trying to think, there was some other games that have done it since where you can go down, but it still feels kind of magical to move down into that perspective. Like, no, this game should only be up here, and then no, you can get a camera down there and actually interact with it all.
It's delightful.
I've never seen a management game do the like first person experience in the way that this game does. Like, and I'm an obsessive about management games, and like I think Planet Zoo and Planet Coaster do a pretty good job of that kind of stuff now. But
they do a great job of the perspective. If you can just be a punter, can't you? You can just click on anyone and say, watch them walk around.
Show me their experience of this thing
But
that
can
I've
you
built.
skip and drag race?
But it's very passive. You cannot get on a horse, ride it as fast as possible down the highway, jump off a ramp, and then be inside your condo.
It's like you're building you're building a little RPG for yourself.
It is. It's so fun.
That's kind of like
so
when
cool.
I was in Croatia when I was maybe 10, and we were going to the beach.
She's worldly.
Oh, I well travel. Me when I travel, it happens all the time. No, I'd like to travel more. So I went there when I was 10, and my bubba and I were walking down the road, and we see just the biggest guy, just the hugest dude you've ever seen in your life, 6 foot something, beefy, coming down the road on this little moped, right? This tiny little bike. He's
Gus's
coming down.
dream boat.
He's coming down. Tall and beefy. He's coming down the road. He's got like a Samoa Joe build, if that makes sense. He's a big guy. He's coming down the road on the bike, and he goes, "Hey!" and waves at my bubba, and she's like, "Oh, hello," and he zooms past, and I'm like, "Who was that, bubba?" And she was like, "That's the mayor."
Fuck yes.
Oh, amazing.
Love that. That's my dream life.
When we were in Lombarda, the mayor of Lombarda was the biggest, beefiest guy you've
That's
ever
what all
seen in your
society
life.
used to be like.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like the leaders
Towns
were just
would
like the
thrive
biggest
if
people.
mayors could just have a little more, if they could serve a little more, whatever it is you
Every
guys
mayor
say.
should be able to fight each other.
Yeah. Or at least take a hammer to the highway and fix it.
Yeah.
Yes, that's
Single-handedly.
That's right.
This is also on iOS, I believe. I'm sorry. I know I said that. I just downloaded it.
I believe I just downloaded
I
it
just
on
bought it.
iOS.
It's $7.99 currently, which I'm actually really excited by, something with a price tag, which means I'm not going to have either, Apple Arcade and all that kind of
I'm gonna
stuff.
get it
Yeah.
too.
Pocket City 1, you played that one as well.
I played
but
Pocket City 1 as well. It didn't have quite the like sophistication that this one does. I think
Sophistication.
just in terms of like the overall like management experience, and
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
the balancing, like they've obviously learned so much from the first game.
Yeah.
It's so great. I would highly recommend it.
I thank you for the recommendation.
Yeah,
That looks fantastic.
awesome.
That's going to be a great holiday game, actually. Peter.
Yes.
You played a game called...
I played a game called The Exit 8.
Right.
And the first time I saw this, it came out a few weeks ago, but I saw Reeps playing it on Twitch. It's in the indie horror. I don't know if it actually is independent, but it's a small horror experience, and it is basically a looped corridor, and you need to progress through 8 levels of the corridor, and the corridor looks nearly identical, except for the fact it's this big white train station underground corridor, and there are some posters in it. There's some doors in it. There's like some service stuff. There's a couple of cameras and a service thing in the roof and that kind of thing. The trick of it is you're walking through what is a seemingly identical corridor to the one you were just in, but there might be an anomaly in the corridor, which means you need to turn around and go the other way. And so you need to get 8 correct choices, basically, to escape the underground. So your first pass, we're at pass 0 here, this person's learning the game, is you walk through a corridor, a man is walking towards you, you just walk up the corridor, you get to level 1. You've got 1 clear pass of a corridor.
So the number is indicating how well you are doing.
Yeah. So you see every time you go through it, you might get to 6, and then you're like, there's nothing anomalous about this. And you keep walking, and you get around the corner, it says 0, and you're like, oh shit, I missed something. I missed something on the poster. I could tell you every single thing about that poster.
The dog's full on.
Every detail of that poster. Like all of these, I learned individual elements of the posters that I was like, that'll change.
Okay.
That'll change.
I don't want to debunk this early. I want to find out where this goes. But on that 6th run, if you'd turned around and walked the other way, it would have gone up to 7.
Correct.
How is this randomized? Is this changing?
It is randomized.
So it's not you work out, it's forward, back, forward, and that's the win.
It's completely random.
Okay.
And it prioritizes showing you anomalies that you haven't correctly eliminated before.
Okay.
So there is also once you finish it once, there's a poster on the wall and it says there's 35 anomalies. You've cleared, 12 of them in getting your first pass to exit 8.
Give me an anomaly.
Okay.
Because is it a spelling error? Because then I'm fucked.
So there are no spelling errors. They're just things that you think you wouldn't miss, but in the moment when you're looking at you focus so much attention because you know what you're trying to do is spot something tiny like a spelling mistake. You're putting so much of your energy into focusing on little details that you miss another detail that should have been really clear. As an example, and a pretty obvious one, because this guy walks past you every time. One time he'll walk past you and he'll be smiling, and it's creepy as fuck.
Yeah, right.
So it's just about and you might miss it because you're like, oh, well, he's just doing his thing, and you're not looking at him. Here he'll come around the corner. Oh no, we're going backwards fully at the moment. You might not look at him because you're like, there's rarely anything about him. So you're looking at a poster when he walks past and you miss it. So it really is just about you intimately know this corridor by the end, and it's really exciting when an anomaly happens, and it's usually something unnerving with an audio cue, or it's a detail that when you look at it real up close, I guess that's what I wanted to ask. It's uncomfortable because it is horror in that sense. Yeah, because it's never horrific, but it is unsettling.
Versus just
design.
being like, as I said, a typo or the color changed on a poster. That's not an anomaly. It has to be something that's like,
no, it'll be if it's something as small as a color changes on a poster, that is an anomaly.
Oh, God damn it.
Yeah. It's tiny, subtle detail.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's not. And it's a flood of blood that comes rushing through the corridor. And you're like, well, that was an obvious one.
Blood usually gets off at the 7th floor.
Pain Gamer in the chat said, seems like the I'm on observation duty games. I know of those games, and it does sound a lot like that, because with those games, you're like in a house and you'll have a camera looking around different rooms of the house. And anomalies will happen in each room, and you have to report them to make them go away. Okay, it kind of sounds a lot like this.
Yeah, it's definitely like this. And there's something beautiful of this experience in before you know what the anomalies are. Like I could do it now and get it every time because I know where to look and what to look for.
Okay.
But when you're first experiencing it, the amount of brain power that you put into trying to memorize so much information. Because you're like, a single number is going to change, and it may not, but you are holding as much as you can in with every pass. You feel like your head is swelling when you go around the corner every time, and you're just hoping for the river of blood because you're like, well, that's an easy level for me. I know that is clear. And then there'll be times where you're like, absolutely there was not an anomaly, and you walk ahead and it goes back to 0, and you're like, what did I miss?
So those moments are you can't find the anomaly, but you're not confident enough to go forward. You back and forth enough. You check everything. You double check everything. You eventually bite the bullet, and then yeah. Interesting. Yeah, it's a cool look. Someone said this is a couple of years old now. This has been out for.
Oh, maybe it was in early access or something. But yeah,
someone said it's 5 years old.
No, I think
really?
they might have been talking about Pocket City, the first one.
Oh, great. Okay, yeah,
Right.
cool.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I love the aesthetic. I love like the foreign nature of the Japanese subway station. Maybe I've just played too much Ghostwire Tokyo, but it just feels eerie. I can see what's going to come around the corner is going to freak me out, but it's not quite jump scare horror. It's just.
No,
I don't want to spoil it.
Yeah,
actually.
I wouldn't say there are any jump scares. There are just things like imagery that it shows you that's unsettling, and you're like, I don't feel good about being in these corridors.
Yeah.
Kind of giving like Severance. You seen
Yes.
that?
It's totally Severance vibes. I would say it is.
Things aren't right.
Yeah, things aren't right, and it leans into the things aren't right kind of like sensibility, but it does have like the Japanese horror imagery when it goes hard for something.
Stanley Parable, the creepy version.
Creepy
Is
Stanley
there any
Parable.
anomaly where the guy's just like running full speed at you? That's funny to me.
What if the guy was really tall?
And he was really buff.
You guys have identified 2 of the anomalies. There is one when the guy walks around the corner and you're like,
Yeah.
there's something weird going on, and he gets closer and he's really tall.
Holy
shit!
Oh no!
He's normal. He's normal.
No, there's a guy.
I don't like that. I don't like
our
that.
first anomaly.
I don't like
around.
that.
Turn
Turn
around. Turn around.
Turn around. Why are you
Is
turning
there a
around?
man in the tub?
I knew it.
Turn it off! Switch!
Oh my god!
What's gonna happen?
Ruby, what have you been playing?
I feel like I made that happen. I feel like I willed that into existence.
That looks great.
It was weird that
Playtime-
I was just talking about that.
Playtime once you got your head around it?
Playtime, like I finished a run in. I think I probably spent 40 minutes in the game when I got through to exit 8 the first time, and then I probably spent I probably played an hour and a half to see all the anomalies and try and find them all. Yeah,
Very cool.
It was very cool.
Ruby, round us out. What have you been playing?
I tried the 2 demos actually for a game called Holston.
Mm-hmm.
It's made by, I think the team's called Sonka. They're a Polish team, and this game it's a isometric or semi-isometric survival horror.
because it goes down into. Is it first person? Or just
like over the shoulder.
Yeah.
So it is very cool. So this was part of Day of the Devs because I was in bed this morning and decided to watch all 2 and a bit hours of Day of the Devs and Wholesome Snack, as I like to do as a little treat for me. And this one I've kind of seen a bit of before, but seeing it again as part of Day of the Devs, I don't think what they're doing in this game has ever been done before. And I think it's so cool. Like, my first thought for what they're doing in terms of, like, the puzzle solving side, isometric puzzle solving side, and then the over-the-shoulder mechanics, but then also giving the option to turn the camera around an area. Like, my first thought was actually Super Paper Mario for the Wii, where you can go in 2D mode and then in 3D mode.
Yeah, I can see that.
But it's this beautiful pixel art game it's like, at first it looks 2D, and then the second you move the camera around, you realize it is not 2D and it's back 3D. And it's basically what's happened is it's set in early 90s Poland, and there's been an apocalypse of sorts. Like this area has just been ravaged by these this sickness, this calamity that includes, yucky tendrils coming out of the ground that hurt you, but as well like zombified type people. But it's less like your average zombie and more like horrible growths on people that also turn them into very specific monsters. So like a like Last of Us type beat.
Yeah,
you know
sure,
how you've got like the
Clickers
some of
and all
them
that.
have one thing that they can do and other ones have the other, right? Anyway, so your job is to kind of figure out what happened. You're like a cool detective guy of sorts. You find a whole bunch of notes around wherever you go that kind of explain what's going on. And there are 2 demos out at the moment. There's this one, which follows the kind of isometric puzzle solving, and that I loved. I absolutely love. Like going to different parts of the house. There's a fuse box, and you've only got 2 fuses you can work with, but 4 choices of where they go, and you kind of have to keep moving them around to get to different parts of the house because the tendrils that can hurt you don't like light. So you have to turn the power on in certain sections of the house. You can get rid of those tendrils to get to certain areas in the house, right? It's very cool, very unnerving, because there's also like this little kid in the demo specifically. There's this little kid who's like hiding in a cupboard, who gives you little hints of like what's been happening, but he can like move around all the cupboards, and it's really creepy.
Newt.
It's
Aliens.
Yeah,
Child in the walls.
Child in the walls.
Classic tutorial
Yeah,
mechanic. reveal.
that's the puzzle mode. The second demo that they've released.
So there's 2. So in terms of, there's an older demo, or they've released 2 at the same time?
There's an older demo
Okay,
which
gotcha.
shows off
Yep.
the puzzle mechanics, and then this I'm pretty sure is the newer demo.
Sure.
And it shows off kind of what the trailers have been giving away as the coolest parts, I guess. It's really cool. Is the fact that you can go from this like 2.5D
Yeah.
is the way
Yeah.
to describe it, like
Rotating
isometric, rotating isometric to going over the shoulder in combat. So I think this is kind of towards the start of it. There we go.
Whoa.
So it goes from being like this top-down little look to being this.
Resi 4
Resi
meets,
4,
you
oh.
know,
On demand, it does that,
Yeah,
or
yeah. So you
aim
push
down sight does
you
that?
push yourself into that mode.
yeah.
Cool.
When you aim the second you aim your gun is when you go down. You can also kick, and before I got the gun, it was a lot of fun just kicking these creatures to
Kicking
death.
dudes around.
That's
How
really
interesting.
cool
It's the second game we've talked about where it's like, pulling you into that perspective totally changes it. But here it's like, oh god, it's
Like that is
horrifying.
so cool. I don't think I've ever seen this done before. And even then, if you look at the character design, like the character art of the protagonist, that's like a flat image. He's not 3D. That's literally just like
There's a bit of combination where
flat,
it's
moving
not
image,
just the
which is
camera, it's
so
the
cool.
design changes a little bit. Yeah,
Oh.
it's cool. And again, with that like sort of that frame rate of that sort of more stuttery frame rate, it definitely has those like early horror vibes of your Resi Evils and stuff. But
yeah.
it just
It wears its influences
Yeah.
on its sleeve. Like even in the inventory and the ability to craft, like you'll pick up like herbs and alcohol, and you use that to make medicine.
mojito.
A mojito, yeah. See, and there's like a small inventory that grows over time.
Yep.
But as well, like you'll get certain guns, like the shotgun and the AK-47, that will be bigger, and so they'll take up more space in the
That classic
inventory.
little taking up the
Yeah,
space in
exactly.
your suitcase. Can you shoot from this perspective, or you can't? Like there's
no.
the only combat was the melee kicking, or maybe like other melee
the only
from
combat
this
in
perspective.
this perspective is the kicking and the dodging.
Yep.
But when you want to shoot, which you'll want to do,
Who doesn't want to shoot?
you'll want to shoot.
Time to
I
time.
do. One thing about me, if I got a gun, I'm shooting.
Does that? I saw even in this demo, and whether or not this is your footage or not, it's a cool transition.
This is my footage, yeah.
It's a cool transition in, and it's a great effect once you're in there. But I saw even at one point you kind of hesitated, gun, no gun, no gun. Does it nauseate a little bit, like that yanking your view down to that
I honestly
perspective?
didn't have a problem with it.
Okay.
It was I found it fine. Like I filled out a feedback form afterwards, because they, wanted people to give them an idea of like how they were like in the demos.
Yep.
And one of the questions that they asked was like, how did you feel about shifting from isometric to over the shoulder?
Yeah.
And there was the option to say it made me feel dizzy. I thought it was fine.
It looks great. I just think
Yeah.
it's such a cool effect that I wonder if it does sort of reach a point of feeling a little bit like nauseating.
I thought like it didn't affect me. And that being said, like I can't play VR for too long or I get quite sick. So like considering that's kind of my experience, but I found this fine.
Yeah, cool.
I would say it's fine. It's just so cool because you can see where the influences are in the sense of Resident Evil and Silent Hill and stuff. But then as well, it's doing something so unique to it with shifting that perspective. Like I just think this is one of the coolest things I've ever seen. Like I think it's so neat. I love seeing new things done in games,
Totally.
but using old things.
How much story is in these demos?
So this demo, the combat demo,
Nothing.
basically nothing, except you do find little notes around,
Yep.
kind of explaining some stuff. That first demo where you're looking through the house, it's explained at the start that the demo won't, like that first demo probably won't happen in the full game, but it does relate to the full game.
Yeah,
Sure.
cool.
Yeah. And I loved it.
Yeah, cool.
I'm not usually a horror guy, and I usually like when I do play horror games, I try and find stuff that's like horror but different, and not just stuff that's gonna scare me. And I did get the heebie-jeebies looking at some of these foul creatures, which once were my fellow men.
So
And now
foul.
you're like, well, let me get out of there.
Yeah,
Perspective out. Oh, look
Literally.
at me. I'm up here. I'm fine.
and it's
Very
but
cool.
it's honestly like one of the
Yeah, it's
coolest
cool.
demos I've
I mean, I don't
played.
know if you're getting. I was just getting a little bit of like early LucasArts vibes
Oh my god, yes.
in just like particularly because I love it so much. Indiana Jones: Fate of Atlantis. I'm like, there's a little bit of that just because of the art style, but yeah, if there's any of that in exploring the world, and I love classic point and
it's very
click,
that.
and obviously it's not a point and click.
You
in
gotta
that way,
But it kind of is
Yeah.
because like when you're going around that first demo, you have to click on things to interact with them.
Yeah.
And then like move stuff, like you're moving the fuses from.
Yeah, cool, awesome.
Like
Oh,
it feels.
It looks like it's a combination of a
it's
lot
so,
of things.
it's
I
so
like.
many
Also-
cool little ideas, all done in very neat and compact ways. I
Yeah.
think it's awesome.
And I imagine you got to work hard these days. If you want to go pixel art, you've got to do something else with it. Like, it always looks nice, but you've got to, and there are a lot of devs these days working hard to add perspectives, add lighting, add just something into the mix as well, because it's I don't want to say it's run its course, but it's like, you can't just live off nostalgic
Very
sake.
saturated.
It's a very saturated market when it comes to that. So that looks very cool. There is no release date as of yet. There
Just
is
2024.
Yeah, they've just said.
But they were like maybe 2024. I'm happy to wait because like I will say.
Did you write that
it
in the
was a-
feedback form?
I did say in the feedback form that
I'll wait for you.
it was very. I'll wait for you. I'll always be here for you. I love you. But the first demo, I found it a lot more fluid to move around than in the second one, which I thought was really interesting considering you're doing a lot more kind of intense moving around in the second one. So it felt more fluid in the first game. And then also in the first demo, you can click on stuff to interact, but in the second demo, you have to press F to interact. And I was like, I said in my feedback,
Pick
I
a
think-
lane.
I think the clicking is good. I think it works for like what
Go back
you're
to
doing.
clicking.
Go back to clicking. It's better.
I'm a clicker.
And yeah. So
Cool. Well, you can check that out. There is a demo available. There are 2 demos to make things confusing. But that is Holston, which is what Ruby played. Peter played The Exit 8. Ali, you played Pocket City 2, and we're a wild, crazy mayor.
And we're all about to play Pocket City.
We're all about
too.
to play
Thank
that
you very
as
much.
well.
Thank you very
then
much.
we're gonna come to your house.
And then we're all
Say
getting on
your
a plane,
address.
and we're coming to your house.
And I checked out Avatar Frontiers of Pandora. Those are the games we were playing. We're going to look at some games after this very short ad break. Stick around.
Ah, what dreadful visions haunt me. as I gaze upon the sea. And oh, what furtive bounty in deep, dark possibility. All aboard for strange horizons, beyond the sight of those ashore. Seamen hauled a feeble cargo to a place to find no more. Bound so tight, dead hands numb and white, a heavy implication. In dusky light and out of sight, now food for some crustacean. For a mighty shell, red as hell, it breached through waves almighty, and from its maw an ancient roar, then bloodshed quite unsightly. What better nest to lay to rest than out past Circular Quay? So leave the heads and drop your dead to the heart of Middle Sea. Middle Sea colossal crab fingers for a Leviathan appetite!
This is Kirby, who's consumed something.
This is Kirby.
No
That's
shit.
Kirby traffic cone.
Kirby ate a guy who's really enjoying it.
So round 2 is the gazing shark from Dredge.
That's amazing. He's freaking out because he actually can't use binoculars.
Oh.
Yeah, he gazes. He's having a look.
I hate the way it's staring at me.
I don't like it. I
That's
don't
a
like
gazing shark.
it. Round 3 is Vasco of Starfield.
Well, I drew a Wally.
I also took the same inspiration. But what if Wally was strong? And made of a
Beef
big cake?
boy.
yeah.
Made of a
That's
big-
pretty good.
So he's got a little body, so I kind of got that right.
Round 4 is Astarion of Baldur's Gate 3. Oh
Oh.
goodness.
You fell down and you're looking up.
I started with the nose.
Interesting. Oh, I really like
I
that.
hate that he has his shirt open.
Yeah. No. But it's
I hate it.
it's true to the
I hate
character.
it so much.
Yeah, it's true to the
Calm
character.
down.
Welcome back to the show. Ooh,
Sorry, get the
Angus.
last drip.
We saw words there from Sam Funk, and we did see a new one there from Dump Days. Thank you for the testes.
Oh,
Test.
that's not what they are. They're just human pocketies. They're if Pockety became a human.
No, that's balls, son. That's nuts.
Pockety is my son.
That's
So-
Avatar nuts.
That's
You made Avatar nuts, and
Yeah.
and Dump
Dump Days
Days
made Pockety nuts.
Made
Thank you.
human
Love your
nuts. We also saw. We didn't see the gameplay. We saw our social. Yeah, a fun segment from last week.
That was good fun.
Drawing Kirby's. You
Oh,
did.
yeah.
You committed crimes, but that's fine.
I didn't.
And we also saw the ad for Middle Sea. Love Middle Sea, love Miles. One of my favorite ads for sure.
Yep.
I just wanted to give an update as well because we do owe some ads. We owe ads to Burry Burry, Wolsey, and Babbling Boffin. We have scripts for the three of them. We also
We have a couple in the can.
Burry Burry's is filmed.
Burry
It just
Burry's
needs
is
to be
filmed and
edited.
needs some.
It's in the can.
Yeah.
Coming
In the
to
can
you
means
soon.
finished and waiting to
I
play.
thought it meant in the toilet.
It's
It
not
sounds
finished.
like
Yeah.
It's not finished.
And we also Sassless and Moth Captain. They're due an ad as well now. They're our latest two to go on that list. They've been at the Pocket Addict tier for long enough to get themselves an ad. So you can yourself, if you join that tier and say for 3 consecutive months, get yourself an ad.
You can stick around for long enough to get an ad, or we'll welcome you back like we did with Reese. You're learning a lot about the patron system this episode.
It's swings and roundabouts is what it is. And there's also there are so many talented people in our audience. One of them dressed you tonight, Ruby.
She totally forgot that we segued this.
Yeah. No, I remembered. I just like to seem aloof. So it's
Yeah,
part of my
goof.
brand. Dion designed the shirt.
Woohoo! Ali, do you have any idea what the shirt's about?
Nope.
So on the
Do I want to?
uh,
Yeah, it's
for
fine.
the show.
Safe.
Also, Ali made this beautiful
what?
star lady in the match.
Oh,
I made that.
Made this.
That's beautiful.
It's
That's
really
stunning.
nice, really cool. Anyway, so we had our 3rd anniversary stream where it was kind of like a subscription drive, and every milestone of money made would go towards different things.
Hot dogs.
You just tell her.
Yeah.
You just can eat a shitload of hot dogs.
Yeah, but the context is important, guys.
Is it?
Yes.
It's not.
It's totally not. It's totally
I'm
not.
eating 15 hot dogs in a row on the final Back Pocket show for this year
Condolences.
because we made a whole bunch of money, and so now we financially owe it to the good people of Back Pocket.
We had to give them something back for their generosity, and we all had to come up with things. Ruby volunteered. She said, "I'll eat a lot of hot dogs."
I'm pretty sure it was the first thing on the list.
And we were
it was a thing we checked every day. We looked at the list. We're like, "Are you sure?" Yeah, absolutely. I want to eat the hot dogs.
Do you get those girls on TikTok that do the competitive eating?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love them. I'm obsessed
I've
with
never
them.
seen this, but
It's like they travel around to like different like restaurants and establishments that have like eating challenges,
Yeah, yeah.
and then they
Cool.
they set up their little
Get the meal for
TikTok stream
free.
and they start their little they have their little kits. They have like a little timer. They have their little special water bottles, and they go live and they like eat an insane amount of
apparently
food.
it's milk with
Amazing.
hot dogs. A lot of people have to
They like
melt.
dunk
They
it
soak
in the
the
glass
buns.
and then they shove
They
it.
do the buns in the.
I'm seeing some people in the chat say like, "Oh, it better be this," and like, okay, it's gonna be the little hot dogs. It's gonna be
they're
the
gonna
little
be
ones.
cocktail wings.
They're
If
cocktail
I-
winners.
if
We're not
I ate
monsters.
15 full hot dogs, you would watch me vomit on stream. And at first
That's
you'd
what
be
they
like,
want.
that's funny. But then you would be like, actually, this is really alarming. She's crying. Because every time I throw up, I cry. And it's not a nice image. It's actually really scary and harrowing. So you do not want that.
It's
You're-
actually one of the anomalies in the Exit 8 is you go around the corner and Ruby's
And I'm like-
vomiting and crying in the corridor.
for this.
Yeah.
This is what you
So-
wanted.
Yeah. So I'm eating the mini hot dogs because I like, please.
And if you don't understand that level of aggression from Ruby's energy, just look where she currently is sitting in the couch and how that's the level of energy that she will eventually.
I'm sorry. I just, you know, I exude a strong, powerful energy that I can't control.
Speaking of
Yeah.
strong, powerful energy.
Nice. I was going to segue from
Go for it.
speaking of vomiting in a corridor.
Oh, God.
But speaking of strong, powerful energy, we are delighted to announce that we are sponsored for a segment here tonight from PlayStation Australia to celebrate PlayStation Plus Season of Play. The Season of Play is coming back again, and it is bringing holiday cheer with free avatars, PS Stars rewards, an esports tournament, and more alongside the PlayStation Plus benefits.
Nice.
So the deluxe, extra, and essential tiers are getting a bit of a boost for the Season of Play.
I'm a deluxe man myself.
You've always been a deluxe man.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So on all those tiers, you get the massive back catalog of PS5, PS4, and classic PlayStation games, and some massive benefits as well. But with the Season of Play bringing in esports tournaments and more rewards and stuff,
Yep.
it's a great time to be a PlayStation Plus subscriber. The December monthly games for PlayStation Plus Essential and above are already available. So they're Lego 2K Drive, Sable, and Power Wash Simulator. Ruby, Power Wash Simulator, the greatest game ever made, according.
Yep, it's true.
Yep.
The past few times, more recently I went back and I played Ghostwire Tokyo, but the past few times that I've gone and sat down at my PS5 and thought, what am I going to play right now? My brain goes into like a fugu state and I just suddenly... That's
why people
I
love
go
that
into,
game,
I
yeah.
go
Did
over
you
to...
say fugus?
Yeah.
Babe, that's not how you say that.
That's funny to me. It's funny. It's comedy.
That's before she's power washed. That's what she thinks.
I love to say fugu.
2K Drive's the other one that Will played on the show and absolutely adored, and we did
Yeah.
some socials around that. And a really, really great racing game, and like for diehard Lego fans alike, it's a really, really fun game in there as well. I want to play Power Wash.
Yeah, I want to play Power Wash
Oh,
too.
Power Wash
You can
is-
exclamation mark PlayStation Plus or PS Plus. There's multiple options, but PlayStation Plus will bring up the link to take you to the PlayStation Plus page, and you can check out all the latest news, deals, and everything tied to the season of play, which is awesome.
If you're feeling a little fugu, get on the
Yeah,
season
you
of
get
play.
into
Or
a
a lot
fugu
fugu.
state.
Or a lot. I don't
That's
quite know
how
what it
you
means.
pronounce it. That's how you pronounce that word.
No. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Joshy's on the money there. It'll bring up the link for you, and you can click on through and check it out. Thank you very much to PlayStation Australia. Now we're going to get on with another segment, Trailer Park Theatre.
Ooh. Come visit the popcorn
Trailer
park.
Park Theatre. God, that reminds me of Trailer Park Boys. Great show. Trailer Park Theatre is brought to you by Timothy.
Hey.
Oh, it's nice, isn't it?
It's quite calming. All the usual sound bites that we've had have been an aggressive noise that's come in
They're
and kind of
often
spooked
scary.
us. This is
Yeah.
nice, Josh. I'd be okay with a nice soft noise once in a time.
Yeah, it's nice.
Next week we're gonna get enough chaos.
Oh, next week's was
Good.
yeah.
Okay.
yeah, forget that.
Oh, okay.
Forget next week.
Well, for Timothy, our little game that we do when he sponsors a segment.
Ali is going to love this one.
I think it's great. I really love
You'll
it.
be all about
could
this
be
one,
great
for
or
sure.
terrible.
I thought of it.
You'll
I
be
thought
all
of
about
it,
this
so
one.
you have to like it.
Okay, I support women.
Thank you. Even when we're bad. But for Timothy, I choose, well, one of us chooses a famous Timothy and reads the description. It's either directly from Wikipedia or it's ever so slightly Wikipedia.
Let's go.
And so
I support women. Here's a segment all about famous men.
exactly. And so we
I support
hear-
women. I also love just guys. I
Oh,
love knowing
we gotta
about
love a
little
Tim.
guys.
shout
Yeah.
out to the fellas.
It's about time they got some attention.
God, we look so shit doing that.
I think you look awesome.
All right, Tim
but
us up.
I read out the description of Timothy. You guys have to guess who it is.
Okay.
Can we buzz in?
Okay.
Sure.
Let's yell Tim
you
as
can-
the
you
buzzer.
can-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Check your buzzer.
Tim.
All right.
Term.
American comedian, actor, writer, and producer. He first became known as a writer and performer on the NBC sketch comedy series Saturday Night Live from 2012 to 2014, before gaining wider recognition as the co-creator, co-writer, and star. Yeah?
Is it Tim Meadows?
Nope.
You're out.
Get out of
Get
here.
outta
Leave
here.
the studio. You can stay.
Star of.
Please don't.
If I say the name of this, oh no,
Just
you
blank.
guys might
Tim
not
Allen.
know.
It's not-
It's not Tim.
Star of the comedy series Detroiters.
Oh, Tim Robertson.
That's right.
Oh, Tim.
Yeah.
That's a good Tim.
We love him.
Very good,
Yeah.
Tim.
I don't even want to be around anymore.
Got too much shit on me.
I got too much shit on me. I love him.
We
I
did
think
too
he's
much.
He did too much. You gotta take this fucking shit off me. Anyway, thank you, Timothy, for sponsoring this segment. For Trailer Park Theatre, we watch trailers in a park theatre.
Well, it's been a big week for
Are we
trailers.
going to the park?
I mean,
go.
there's a
Class
version of
outside.
that. But yeah, there were quite a few trailers dropped. We're going to look at them. We're going to go over them. We're going to particularly...
Well, we're looking at, because there's a bunch of game trailers that dropped, but what we're looking at is like 3 really high profile game IP trailers that have had some really positive, some really negative response, and one really mixed one. It's actually a nice hyper positive, hyper negative, and a bit of a middling one. So we're going to watch those, because I haven't actually watched all of them.
I've only watched one.
Yeah.
And we're going to have a look, and we can potentially shout out what we like, what we don't like. We can scrutinize them. Or we can just be like, it's a trailer. I'm looking forward to it. To the trailer park.
Let's start with GTA 6.
I mean, it's the obvious one, right?
Obviously. This one came out, yesterday, day before?
Well, it leaked.
Yeah.
And it came out early. You'll notice this is not the Tom Petty track, because we would have this pulled if we did.
Immediately, we would be taken down if we played
It loses a little bit of the punch, doesn't it?
It certainly does. I mean, well, let's start talking about the song choice. Ali, have you watched the trailer yet?
No.
Yeah,
This is your
okay.
first time watching it?
Yeah.
Okay, right.
So this is GTA 5.
Plus one. Plus one.
Sorry.
Plus one.
GTA 5.
And GTA is.
GTA is a good time for all. But they take out the 4 because GTFA sounds boring.
what Rockstar tend to do is take a really classic song and show off elements of their game around it. They've picked a Tom Petty song for this. For me, a Tom Petty song that I wasn't familiar with, but I recognized his voice immediately. But it perfectly fit the bill and introduced, their shiny new engine, a bunch of great color and context for the world that they're setting.
It's a great song because it starts with a little sort of 80s synth, and this is set in Vice City. This is kind of the modern day version of Vice City that we saw back in the day with Tommy Vercetti. And the main protagonist, or potentially dual protagonist of these two characters, is it Sophia? I think is Lucia. Sorry, Lucia and not her brother. Ruby discovered.
Not her brother.
Someone speculated. They were like, oh, maybe they're brother and sister.
It was really, really early on.
It's sister wife.
I think it was GameSpot. Got a report out super early, and it's a classic thing of you kind of just assume things as soon as it comes out, so you can just get the story out there. And they changed it super quickly, but they were their brother and sister.
They're sitting on each other in a hotel bed, saying we're gonna live forever kind of thing. So I mean, sure, maybe in Florida, but it's a Bonnie and Clyde style story by the looks of it. It's set in Vice City, and it looks. I will say, for the previous GTA trailer, it looks unbelievable. It doesn't look like this could be a video game in the sense of the lighting, the textures, the density is insane. The shots of them, that first shot on the density of people is insane.
I don't have a preview. I'm just.
Why are you going to that constantly, John?
I can't see where
Fair enough. Some of the earlier shots, in particular the one on the main beach. I've watched a full breakdown of these trailers, and people have gone through and pointed out there's brands on cars that correlate with old GTA games. There's real life landmarks. In particular, that huge tower where the sun is setting is actually the tallest point in Florida. There's a radio tower that is just monumentally tall. So they've taken real landmarks, as they do when they sort of take inspiration from New York and all that kind of stuff. But the next shot, I think, is the one of everyone on the beach, which is just that one there.
And if you look really closely right in the middle there's a little chihuahua
There's a
dog.
tiny little chihuahua on the beach.
And that makes this a good ass game. You got a little wawa on the beach?
Yeah.
I tend to forget how much I love Grand Theft Auto until it comes out, and then I go so hard into them. The
Enhance.
Yes.
Google, show me this guy's wawa. There we go.
Yeah,
baby.
Take that IGN 20
doggy.
Easter eggs from the trailer.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. And you see it run, and you're like, that's the good
Yeah.
stuff.
And
I can die.
Yeah, all I really ever want out of a GTA game is to go, that was technically impressive.
Yeah.
And this trailer looks like it's going to be technically impressive. But I'm fond of what we've seen of the characters already, because it feels like, even with GTA 5, it was, they did the 3-character thing and you could jump between them all. But even Michael, the most normal one, is a psychopath.
Yeah.
And
He's the worst. I think Trevor's the best one.
Yeah. I mean, they're all killers. We're going to be killers in this game as well, obviously. But they're still part of the crazy satire of the whole thing. Whereas these two characters feel a little more grounded in reality, and could be the point of gravity and the point of groundedness in this insane world, because this looks way crazier than even the California satire, because it's Florida satire.
Well, with these videos, because a big part of it is it's mimicking and parodying, real.
Is
real
it
life.
even parody anymore? That's the scary
it's just
part.
showing things that happened.
Yes, it is. And it's this. I saw this really cool side by side.
Yeah, you showed me that. There's shots from this trailer are pulled. The hatchet woman standing there is a woman on social media with two hammers that yelled at someone. The gator going into the shopping mall is some security footage that, real life. The guy fighting off the gator in the pool, there's some real footage of that. So yeah, and the woman twerking on top of the car. I was like, oh, come on, GTA. Now you've got, this is silly. Nothing like that would ever exist. There's a clip of a woman doing that on a car in the States.
If you ever see anything in this game, you go, "This is so crazy." Like Florida is an insane.
It's likely
place.
to have happened.
But is that a problem? Is that going to be a problem with the new GTA game that we're through the needle now? It's like it's not parody anymore. America under Trump, it's like this is what America is. It's not funny anymore. It's real.
Well, I mean, like, I would say that GTA 5 was very real too. I don't think I ever I played a whole lot of that game, and not at one point did I think this could never happen in real life because like so much.
I guess I just mean, does the sting of the parody lose a little bit of its venom based on the fact that of how much of it feels? I don't know. Like
I think it's almost like a parody of this scale of modern video games.
Well, I was gonna say, yeah,
It's like making me sweat thinking about working on that game, watching that trailer.
Especially since this very same game had leaks of very early footage come out, and people looked at that footage and they were like, "Oh, this looks like it's gonna be shit." It's like
yeah.
Is there something in your water? Like, what is wrong with you?
Well, Rockstar do a very good job cinematically, and that trailer looked amazing. I remember that with GTA 5 as well, watching the trailer and being like, this is impossible. A game can't be like this. And now if I go back and play GTA 5, it's still a very incredibly technically impressive game, but it just feels like video game to me now. So I wonder at what point playing this, does this all become, not the norm, but like, does it become regular video game play that, yes, draw distances go that far. Yes, crowds can be that dense on a beach. Yes, I can twerk on top of my car. Like,
no, please, none of that. None of any of that. Let's not make any of this normal. Let's make games smaller, please.
Well, totally. I mean, Rockstar are in a position that, I mean, they've been in this position for a while now, but that it kind of only used to be Blizzard, Rockstar, just a couple of companies that could just sit on a thing for a really long time. Nintendo obviously have mountains of cash that they can burn and develop for long cycles. And Rockstar out of GTA 5 managed to extend that cycle even longer with GTA Online and just pulling in $250 million a year on selling cars like skins.
Yeah.
So they have no need to rush this out, but it does set an unrealistic standard for what video games can be. It's why games like when CD Projekt Red have a crack at doing a massive open city RPG and it doesn't live up to GTA 5 standards, people are like, CD Projekt Red,
they're bad.
They're criminal. They've lied to us about, and it's like, no, they built a brilliant fucking thing. It just couldn't be the other thing. They didn't let it be its own thing.
They didn't have an endless wallet of that they could just keep pouring money at. Yeah. And that is, you're right, what Rockstar have there. The only other thing I wanted to mention quickly as well before we move on to the next trailer is I think the one really interesting element they incorporated in that trailer was the use of social media, the way they've done it. Because GTA 5 famously went with, I think, Life Invader was the fake Facebook that they had, and you had missions surrounding that because Facebook was using your phone to update posts and stuff. That was the thing that was rife for parody. Here, you've got all those clips from the that we're watching there with some kind of fake reels, shared video, TikTok, Instagram, whatever you want to call it. I'm interested and terrified on how that's going to be incorporated into so much of this game. And I wonder if it is going to be something that you as are we going to go nuts when there's a point where people are sharing social media clips of a virtual world of weird things that happened? Because right now we do that. We go, look at what someone worked out you can do in GTA. There's a YouTube video of someone saying you can get fuel out of a car and ignite it with your pistol and it will still blow up your car. But that's a YouTube video about a video game. What happens when it starts being...
When you film that video with your in-game GTA 6 phone.
And then share it in that world... in-app. Like, I wonder if, like, the Rockstar Social Club is going to become this potential...
Well, the Rockstar Social Club does not work.
No, I know that. But this could be what they use to say, essentially, we're now creating a digital world to create social media in.
Turn brain off, no more.
That's what I'm terrified. I'm terrified, but I'm also... If anyone's going to do it, it's Rockstar, so...
Yeah, and, like, this isn't normal. It is not normal to have as much money as they have and be able to make a game for as long as they have.
No,
totally not.
But I love that they're doing
normal. So I think it's going to be something quite.
I think it is one of those has built itself up to be one of those tentpole gaming kind of things, and it's cool that the indie scene has done so well over the last couple of years, and we see so many amazing games coming out of smaller teams because I think it shows that both can coexist. But yeah, it's not surprising that GTA gets the hype that it gets. 100 million views or whatever.
Yeah.
They probably had 30 staff waiting for the leak to happen so that they could post the trailer officially.
I like to think they had a round the
half an hour of it
clock
happening.
guard just like leaving, being like,
Yeah.
you wait till it leaks, and then bang, they hit that big green button and just like
Rockstar really can't catch a break when it comes to leaks. Like it happens almost all the
But can
time
anyone,
for
like
them.
any game with any kind of public interest, there's always people. They just people.
Yeah.
I think
people
it's a
suck.
scale thing too. Like the amount of people that they have working on these
Oh my
huge
God, yeah.
games, it's just
Yeah.
more likely.
You can't
because
trust
there's
anyone.
You can't
thousands and
plug that
thousands of
many.
people.
So you're saying it's the game developer's fault, like an individual game developer?
good. Yep.
It's
There
the
it
little
is.
Send us your
guy's fault.
address.
We're coming over. Oh
I want
yeah.
to come and shake your hand.
Well, yeah, that's GTA 6.
And now it's time for the Fallout TV show trailer. Because the what is it, Amazon Prime?
Yes,
Yeah,
it
yeah,
is.
It was, yeah,
It could
Amazon
be-
Prime.
That is one of the more cringe lines in the trailer.
This
Yeah.
snuck up on me. I didn't know this was happening.
Yeah.
Or that,
No, don't you remember they had the AI generated art for it?
I remember that now.
Yeah,
Let's sit back and enjoy, shall we? Because we can have sound this
we can
time.
probably watch this one.
Relatively comfortable life.
They'll still get pulled.
I mean, it's just... It's cosplayers. It's all I can see.
It's just giving like that like sanitized flat streaming aesthetic that
Yep.
everything has now.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, my favorite guy.
Is it?
Oh, I love that guy.
I do not think you would be
Is
able
he-
to do what
Hello?
it takes to survive up here.
It is Christopher Nolan's brother.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And a claim
Do you know about
credit
Christopher
John
Nolan's
Howard.
other brother?
If you
Anyway,
insist
let's
on
not talk about it.
Then you will have to adapt.
Oh my god. Pressure.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Oh.
Ugh.
Yeah, that's a massive eye roll.
boy.
This was... It was
Amazon is cool,
Imagine
guys.
a guy writing it being like,
Yeah, I know.
It's. I would
But
say
that-
it's this shot where I started to get invested in it. The power armor sitting in there, I was like, okay.
Yeah.
And then the music swell comes, and I'm
Oh.
like, I'm kind of on board for this.
I do love dog meat.
I think that start felt a little
Totally.
shaky.
It's underwhelming, and I think I think it's hard to capture on film.
My boy.
In live action, the fantasy elements that gaming can do so well. But what I think this trailer did about that point is go, we know what we are. We're going to take the piss. I think The Boys is a really successful superhero show
Great show.
in breaking down the shininess of superhero-ness
Yep.
and going, we can't ever match Marvel's graphics budget, but we're not going to try to. We're going to try to be like, we're going to put our own kind of spin and look to things, and we're going to let the comedy and the writing speak for themselves. So I think if there's there's strong characters and they interact in an interesting way, the setting is all I want out of Fallout. Is just the world's over. That has created some interesting dynamics that we're
It's
going
my
to put really good characters into.
They did it for me.
So we did
My
what?
birthday. Comes
They
up
put-
my birthday.
That's on your
happy
birthday.
birthday.
First
birthday
thing
viewing.
for me is
Yes.
like what
Thoughts?
I don't understand is Fallout already has like the what are they called? Like the ghouls?
Mutants, I think, aren't they?
They're
Just...
called ghouls.
There's ghouls, yeah.
Oh, are they?
There's
Yeah.
ghouls, there's mutants.
Oh, sorry,
there's-
the ones that the more human ones that
the
you
human
talk
ones
in-
who are, they're all burnt and yucky.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, they got those fellas and they got the big fellas. They've already got mutants that look kind of strange. Why is there a Cyclops? There has never been a Cyclops in a Fallout game ever.
Yeah,
ever.
I
It just makes
wonder
no
if any of the
sense.
early Fallout games that just had the like still image when you talk to someone potentially had anyone that was mutated like that. But no,
I'm
you're
pretty
right.
sure they didn't. I don't think there's ever been it just like I don't know. I feel like there's already so much cool stuff in Fallout. I find it very weird to like feel the need to add a Cyclops.
I mean, could you argue that it's nice to see they're adding something that's not in the game? Like that is the problem sometimes when we're saying I'm finished. That's the problem a lot of the times with adaptations
think-
is it's like, oh, they're taking everything I've experienced and just putting it in a video game. And we'll get to the next one. We're going to talk. The next trailer
I
does
think if
that.
you're going to add something for the purposes of like enriching an adaptation, I'm not sure that like a Cyclops.
Cyclops,
Yeah,
yeah.
because it feels like
way of doing
a
that.
really hammy mutation. It feels like they looked at Futurama and they're like, oh, just like her. Just like Leela mutant. She got one eye. We'll do a mutant in the game, in the movie, in the show.
I think my
I don't
problem
know.
is like the opposite of your problem. As someone who's not a big Fallout fan,
Yeah.
watching this, I'm just like, well, this is just kind of giving me
Yeah,
like
also they're from the vault.
Star Wars, like Dave Filoni content, which is just like Easter eggs and
Sure.
cameos of characters that you know from the other thing. I'm just not. It just doesn't appeal to me.
The
at all.
only
I can totally see that because I think the things that like that robot,
Oh,
it's a
love
cool
that robot.
design, right?
Also, I love Kyle
because
MacLachlan.
but only because I go, oh, I recognize it.
I'm just like,
and
that's
the
the
power armor and
retro
stuff.
futuristic
I, don't,
robot.
I,
Bit of
I
this-
agree that there's nothing in this trailer if I didn't play Fallout where I go, okay, I'm being set up for an interesting post-apocalypse story here. If you can even do that anymore,
Well,
it's been
Yeah.
overdone. But I kind of like, I mean, shots like that really work for me where, and even this one where it feels like the staging is visible. It's like, and I think that's what I really liked about the most recent indie film as well, was like, this is a soundstage. I can see it's a soundstage.
and there's something about
The boom mic is a millimeter out of shot.
That also plays into the Fallout aesthetic of those faux-looking environments that are within the bunkers. Like, I reckon you're right. If they lean into that sort of hyper-saturated, stylized elements of the world, because we are done to death with mid-budget apocalypses, which are like, we know we can go into the desert and film this and just put some wreckage in there and post, and it just loses all soul. Everyone can see through it. Even if you're not noticing it, you can feel when a sort of half-assed apocalypse is just not really there getting your attention. But what Fallout can do is that really interesting kind of like dystopian, beautiful 50s lifestyle that's been turned into something really twisted and dark. So I want to see them do that. And
Yeah.
I worry there's a little too much of, I don't like the idea of doing potentially flashbacks or before and afters. I just want it to be in that universe. I feel like, but we saw Walton Goggins as...
That's why
I'm a Goggins head.
It was Walton Goggins,
love
right?
that.
That's
fool.
him as the ghoul, but then we
Yeah.
saw him, not unghouled. So obviously there's going to be a fair...
De-ghouled.
Did you know
there's
that
gonna be
there is an actor in the show whose name is Lear Leary?
Lear Leary?
He's Lear Leary.
Lear Leary.
Great name.
But I'm a Goggins head. I love Kyle MacLachlan. I feel like Kyle MacLachlan, if anyone's going to bring like a kind of hammy, campy energy to it, it's going to be Kyle MacLachlan.
Well, I might be wrong, but as much as we were ripping on the Cyclops, I don't know if Josh, you can get a still at. I thought
it's Chris Parnell.
It's Chris
And
Parnell.
he's fantastic.
So
Yes, yeah,
yeah, that's going to be
Chris Parnell's
amazing.
fantastic and he's funny as hell and I love him in almost everything I've seen him in.
And heard him.
Him
in.
as a Cyclops is just weird. It just makes no sense
I
to me.
reckon I'm going to love him by the end of the first or whatever
I
episode
bet they're
he's
gonna
in.
be. I bet they're gonna be like, I've got my eye on you.
I love it.
And the protagonist is the girl from Yellow Jacket.
Yellow Jackets,
Yes.
Ella Purnell.
Right, okay, cool.
Wait,
And guy called
Different
Moises, who's like a long time. Moises. He's like a long time Disney actor.
Who's this?
I think this is the first non-Disney thing he's been in.
Which-
I think his name is Moises Arias.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, I think your initial reaction to it is the scariest part of this is how the sheen of it doesn't at all suit the.
It's giving Amazon series.
Yeah.
Totally, yeah.
How they probably got those suits from Amazon.
Yeah, but the last Amazon series we watched was Lord of the Rings.
I mean, I
and I
fucking love
really
that.
love that. That was
Oh,
$1 million
really?
an
I enjoyed
episode
I
or
heard that
more.
was
Yeah.
mid.
Huh?
I heard it was mid.
People have said
I think
that
it's
post-
mid in
I
a
thought it
sea
was-
of shit.
Yeah.
So I'll take mid.
stands out pretty
I think
well.
I think it had.
Cool.
I think it had.
It's like
heart.
getting a little bit of lemonade and a cup of piss.
There you go.
I think it's separate.
Perfect analogy.
It was warm lemonade, and there were other cups of piss around it. But
Yeah,
the warm
and you
lemonade
just
tastes
managed to
good.
get it.
Yeah, yeah,
The
yeah.
other
Warm
face
lemonade
that
tastes
pops up in it, I believe, if I'm getting the casting right, is Zach Cherry, who is the bloke from Severance.
Oh, yeah.
And he is one of the other Vault dwellers who turns up in one
He's
of the
funny
corridor
as
shots.
hell.
He's great. He's really, really.
They've got a
he's-
fair few comedy actors in this.
which is what I was going to point that out and say that I think this is potentially
You
going to have a.
expect,
It's got to have a comedy twist to have the kind of irony that not irony,
better
but
make me
the
hee-haw.
the sort of silliness that Fallout has with its seriousness, and I'm down for that.
Yeah. Are we? Do you guys watch The Boys?
Yep.
I
Gen
watched
V.
like the first season of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
I think it's
loved
gotten like. I think it's. I ignore all the superhero-ness of it because I'm not particularly interested in that, and just like I'm about the characters that they've put up against each other, and I mean their powers are the power dynamic that makes the conversations interesting. But I think they've done an awesome job. And I mean,
I love the boys.
Seth Rogen and his I can't remember his writing partner's name, but I just think they do a really good job of dealing with weird characters in rooms together.
Also,
and
Gen V is really good as well.
I haven't watched that yet.
People are saying good things about it.
I mean, that's the thing that gives me hope for this is that they can do that.
The one thing, even if it's like cringe, what's the one thing you really want to see in the Fallout series from the game that you'd have that little geek out moment and go, oh my God, they put it in there. Because mine, if you don't need more time,
I'm ready to go.
We can wait.
Is tall men.
Tall mutants. Step on me.
Like unnaturally tall.
I want to see if they try and fail, or if they do it in the way that we're going to talk about in the next series to try and incorporate a VATS element to it.
I want that radio guy.
Radio guy.
The radio station in 4?
It's Three Dog.
Three
Yeah?
Dog.
Is that him?
Yeah,
I want him, man. That's my favorite. I go absolutely buck wild. I go hog wild. Freaking crazy for like a super out there and charismatic radio host in a like TV show.
I mean, just the fact that they've got the music to draw from. It's such a selling point for Fallout, almost to the point that some people will play it just for that kind of juxtaposition of creepy, lovely, old-timey music. So it's going to work for trailers. It's going to work for the show, whether or not the rest of the show is good. I don't know. Any other geeky things people want to say?
I don't love
Nuka-Cola.
I don't love Fallout.
I want to see the Pip-Boy.
Yeah?
Apparently they're going to give Vault Boy lore. I don't know what that means.
You're going to see who Vault Boy was.
What?
Who was based on.
Who he's drawn?
Walter
Who
Goggins.
drew him?
Walter Goggins.
Oh, it's Mr. Goggy. It's Goggy Man.
Yeah. I'm not a massive Fallout fan, so I don't have anything in particular.
I think
I've played them,
Yeah.
so I'm sure there'll be something and I'll be like, oh.
I'm going to watch 3 episodes and then the story's going to get in the way and be like, it's boring.
And,
More VATS.
Now, I think our final trailer.
Why do we do this? This is this is a bad way to stack these things. We should have put a bad one in between the two possibly good
No, we've
ones.
gone good, mid, now horrible.
Bleh.
What is it?
Well, the next one is the trailer for Halo Season 2.
Well, the trailer no one wants to watch.
I didn't even know that there was going to be a Season 2. I thought it got
There
cancelled.
shouldn't be.
I didn't realize there was a season 1.
So I watched all of the first season. I'm a Halo head.
You're a Halo boy.
I'm a Halo nut.
Yeah, you're a Halo nut.
And I love the games, but they created a TV series with a pretty large budget, but they made the wild decision to go, the gamers know the story of Halo, so we're gonna change up the story, and it's completely tangential canon basically for a story with a character who is like basically characterless except has a cool action hero voice, and it was pretty disastrously received. I mean it must have been watched enough for them to greenlight a series 2.
Halo's big series.
The thing that I actually
That's Master Chief?
That's Master Chief, and that is a Schreiber.
Pablo Schreiber.
Pablo Schreiber.
Yeah.
I actually think he does a fine job of humanizing a metal war machine guy character. You get to see his ass in the first season, and that's a highlight.
I love that the big reveal was not just that you got to see his face,
yeah.
but it was his ass.
And cheeks. And so it's basically the first season basically brought us up to the discovery of the first ring, which is the start of the first game, and it introduced some characters and some dynamic between the humans and the Covenant, which are the enemy alien conglomeration, and so there's a human that got abducted, and that's why and Master Chief and this human who was abducted by the Covenant have sex. They have intercourse on screen, and Cortana watches.
What?
Really?
It's batshit crazy.
Can you
right
fuck
back.
in any Halo game?
Yeah, totally. It's
You
the
can-
X
you
button.
can?
The X button just
X
does
to
it.
fuck?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
You stand behind someone and go,
You don't use it
they
for-
die, and then they
You
go
don't
behind
use
you.
it for anything else.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Is
But
there another button to
we
fart?
didn't expect it to see it in a show. No, it was. I mean, it got a lot of attention because it's just insane that this character Cortana, your AI companion, who in the game there is like, Cortana is robot combating with the ideas of I'm human, I'm sentient, I'm real, and there's this human who's in a machine suit and is like, am I even human anymore? And so they meet in the middle, and there's this like quite a nice love story between the two of them.
It's like
as the action game plays on around it.
It's like Blade Runner 2049.
It's like Blade Runner 2049.
It is.
But there is a moment in the show where they just have the AI character watching the Schreiber butt. And
screen rant. Everything wrong with the Halo sex scene. In brackets, and there's a lot.
The fact that there's another season, there's nothing in particular in this trailer that excites me. I still like all the visual elements of Halo. I think there's the shot of the Covenant ships rising through the clouds.
That's the only thing that's been piquing my attention.
This shot here, I think, is like a particularly nice,
expensive
shot.
Those look very expensive.
But like
and grey,
beautifully rendered. But yeah, I can't see myself. You know, I watched the whole first season because I had that morbid curiosity, and I disliked the show from episode 1 and was hoping that I would come around by the end, and then it just every episode had something stranger and stranger. So it was funny in that aspect, but I don't know why there is a second season.
From memory as well, I watched I think 3 episodes of this, and I know in the first episode there's definitely a scene that's very effects heavy that does the like through the visor, little bit of the assault rifle, he attacks all the things, and it's like, this is for the gamer who wants to see what I just asked about Fallout. It's like, here's you getting your fix of this is Halo the game now transformed into this show. And I thought they'd kind of shot their shot there and were like, let's move on and get on with the story. And then from memory, I think in the end of the first season, there's just some batshit crazy Halo CG Chief bouncing around action. And it was just like, it was the action scene that even the gamers that loved the first episode were like, this is stupid. Like, this feels over the top. And so I find it interesting that that's the thing they keep wanting to pepper in this story to keep people who love the action element of these video game series, myself included. And it's like, was that satisfying? Did you enjoy that? And it's like, not really. It's like, what about the story? Not really. And so they haven't really gone one way or the other, in my opinion. And I think that's where this falls down. Also,
it falls down at pretty much every hurdle.
But I'm going to watch one episode. Now that I know more information.
Yeah. One specific episode.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I don't know. I see the name Halo, and I like to say it in like a
hello
the voice of like a portly Swedish man. Hello. That's all.
Is it going to get
I'm
a
not
third?
watching it. I ain't watching that shit. No.
Was this one of those ones? Was it greenlit but for the first 2 seasons almost, or like halfway through? Like it
couldn't tell you.
Yeah. Why is there
I
a
can
second
because
Halo
I was still writing for Kotaku when it got announced. Season 2 got confirmed like at the same time that season 1 did.
I think it was.
That feels like what's happened here.
Did it? Yeah. Okay.
It did.
I thought it was. I thought it got greenlit a couple episodes after it started.
If not,
the season
like
started
at
playing.
the same time, it was like at release of the first season.
Yeah, I
like,
think that's
it was
what it was.
very,
It was
very
like,
early.
Yeah, the first episode was like piloting and it was like and there's another season coming for sure. It's greenlit.
Are you gonna hate watch it?
I don't think I will. I don't think I have the energy to.
They had like an energy sword yet?
Yeah, that was
yeah.
first episode of the
They've
first
done
season.
everything.
Gravity hammer?
Maybe they haven't done a gravity
That's
hammer yet.
sad. Gravity hammer was my favorite weapon.
It's still around.
I love it.
Let's play some Halo Infinite.
Oh my god, I'd love to.
The problem I have as well is that this all looks that same sheen of like it's dressed up television.
it is.
Whereas I still remember, and maybe too fondly, I still remember the test film they made, the Peter Jackson's film company made when they were thinking about making the film, and they did that like that sort of body cam footage of all the brutes and everything, and it's that like really visceral war footage from them running around just blowing things up. And I was like, if you're gonna do an action game, make it Hurt Locker style. You're a soldier, you're on the ground, the whole thing is down there. None of this glossy kind of like where we're at with, prestige television. I just think, it's left now to not be one or the other. And
it's funny, like the definition of prestige television has changed to it needs to be 8K and shot with particular lenses, and like that's a disaster. The Sopranos is probably the best television show that's ever gone to air, and it was shot on fucking DV cam bullshit in 4:3, handheld in a car.
The perfect
and it's like
way
that's
to
not
shoot
the important
anything.
part of television
Yeah.
is what the lens was. It's how good the storytelling is. And cinematography is part of storytelling, but it doesn't matter how good the gear is.
And whether or not Michael Imperioli is in it.
Yeah. But
Which he should be in
It always
everything,
helps.
if I'm honest.
That's
And
what
actually,
makes something prestige.
we might talk about that later, but that was Trailer Park
Ooh.
Theatre.
Play the card. Please.
Please.
Sorry, I should say please more. But I like it. This has got Rutger Hauer in the
I know, the Rutger Hauer. So good.
Also, we have a pockety that's full of popcorn. That's not him. That's the one that's full of M&Ms. So it says visit the popcorn bar, and there's one full of candy.
You
Go on,
made
ad
it.
break, and we'll
You
keep
can
talking
get
about this.
M&Ms.
during
I have
ad
more
break.
things to say about this.
We'll be
we'll
back.
talk
We'll
about-
be back after these short messages.
Is your thumb chafed? Calloused? Does it hurt when you headshot the wizard from the moon? You've probably got Destiny Thumb, a condition that affects 1 out of every 1 Destiny players. Lucky there's Avexia. Just apply Avexia thrice daily to the affected area. Side effects of Avexia may include heart murmurs, heart whispers, heart shrieking, jam tongue, deep vein thrombosis, shallow vein thrombosis, elephantitis, giraffe neck, Truman Show syndrome, me, myself and Irene-itis, the quakes, the shake and bake, the bacon snake, the snake and rake, foodborne illnesses including breech banana and chicken Caesarean salad, bulging vein, bungee mane, imposter syndrome, composter syndrome, Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome, beaver fever, rat bite fever and Saturday night fever, facial blindness, severe facial remembrance, alien hand syndrome, mermaid foot, and, in some rare cases, Destiny Thumb. Do not take Avexia if you are also taking medication for Fortnite fungus or Dota Dick. Hey, would you like to support groundbreaking cancer research and win incredible prizes at the same time? Well, get ready for the great Game on Cancer giveaway.
When you donate $50 or more to support groundbreaking cancer research, you're guaranteed to win a prize from one of Game on Cancer's incredible partners. Cheeks not included.
Including new Xbox consoles and accessories, new release titles from EA Games, and plenty of other amazing prizes from your favorite gaming and entertainment brands.
There are 1,000 prizes to be won, so head on over to curecancer.com.au/giveaway and donate to help kickstart new ideas to cure cancer today.
Heart. Heart.
Heart.
Heart.
Heart. Heart.
Heart.
Heart.
Heart.
Heart.
Heart.
Heart.
Heart.
Welcome back to the show, everyone. I'm going to stop talking about that popcorn pockety and get on with it, but I had a lot of things to say over the ad break. Speaking of the ad break, we saw words from Sir Bobo Gargle and a lovely one there from BMAC with a lot of familiar faces in that one. Heart, Earth, Wind, Water, Fire. Forgot fire. Thank you so much for your words, guys. We also saw an ad there for Vexia, a classic, an oldie but a goodie. And we also a little ad there for from the team at Game on Cancer, or from the team at Back Pocket, who are ambassadors for Game on Cancer.
Good on those guys.
Good on those guys from Back Pocket.
I think Back
It is
Pocket's
weird
doing
seeing
really
it in
good
these
work.
couches. And,
Yeah, well, we go to an ad break. I'm like, well, there we are. But we were there spruiking the Great Game on Cancer giveaway, which is the latest fundraising efforts from the team at Game on Cancer that you can get involved with as well and help out with. And as you heard in the commercial, if you make a donation of $50 or more, you'll be certified a prize or an entry into those prizes. There's a whole range of them. So if you want to get behind the team there, you'll see in the chat, hopefully, a link, either !Cure Cancer or !Game on Cancer. There'll be a link to where you can go and start making donations today. Obviously, we've worked hand in hand with the team at Game on Cancer. They do amazing work for groundbreaking cancer research, and we love being involved with those guys. But yeah, anything we can do as Back Pocketeers to support them is always appreciated. We know you guys already do a heap as is, but we wouldn't do our jobs if we didn't keep asking. So,
and what better reason to give to cancer research than getting shit? You get shit back.
He's right. You get shit.
Why not?
You want stuff? Get stuff.
Go and
help
get it.
people get stuff.
Get that stuff.
That's why we're not part of the campaign.
There are some massive prizes, so go and check it out.
They write the ads for us. Otherwise, the ads would just
They're
be
like,
us.
get shit.
Just saying, get shit. But that's the stuff you can get. If you want to get some other stuff, potentially stuff for your ears, well, then you might want to get behind the podcast, because I saw an ad there for the podcast, Pocket Buds, every week. Ruby, tell us who's on this week's episode.
I make that show.
She makes the show. You make the
Crazy.
show.
Anyway, this week on the podcast, you've heard of what if video game. Wait, what if Hold on.
Oh no.
You've heard. Hold on. You've heard of what if. Okay. You've heard of what if movie was video game featuring Sam Barlow.
Great episode.
Now.
She's already forgotten again.
No, she's got it. She's got it, damn it.
What if
You can do this.
video game was movie?
Mm.
And that's featuring my good friend Alexi Toliopoulos, comedian, writer, producer, podcaster, and sweet, sweet boy who just loves the movies.
He's an encyclopedia of movie knowledge.
He is a movie guy. If you want to know about a movie, it's probably living in his brain, paying rent. Because he makes, I'm sure he makes a reasonable amount of money to live his life.
He does the podcast rounds, doing all things movie related.
I was fortunate enough to meet him. We bumped into him last night. And I said, loved your appearance on the show. And just what a delightful human being.
He is just one of the most delightful people I've ever met in my life. He's just a bundle of sunshine. I love that man deeply. And he is on the episode to talk about video game adaptations. Because I thought if anybody's going to talk about movies, it's got to be this guy. And so I got him on the show. It's like, you laugh sometimes, but really you're learning.
You make a lot of thinking.
Yeah, it's a movie that's movie show podcasts. It'll make you think.
Ruby's the one we put in charge of the talking audio medium, guys.
And I do it.
No, you guys, I was listening to you guys record that one, and great chemistry, but also just like, a wonderful guest, and had a lot to say. But also, as usual, there's the bonus episode. So if you like that one and you want to get access to the bonus episode, you can do so by becoming a gold patron or above to get access to it early, which is tomorrow. Or if you're the silver tier, you'll get access to it at the end of the month. And this week, the bonus episode was... I don't know, I keep throwing you like this.
Stop making fun of me.
I'm not making fun of you. We're excited about
opening the presenter door.
I've never done this before.
You don't get to use that anymore.
Yes, I can. Alexi has his idea of the perfect video game movie, and he wants to make it.
Mm-hmm.
He wants to make this perfect video game movie, and I'm pretending to have a lot of money in this episode because the reality is I got $4. So I cannot actually make his movie.
We pay Ruby a salary. It's
Oh,
not
yeah. And I'm spending it all on candles,
There you go.
baby.
So it's irresponsible spending,
Oh,
not
yeah.
bad employment.
Oh, yeah. My house is full of incense.
So it's... oh, my God.
My family is starving. Oh, yeah.
So he elevator pitches.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm like the Shark Tank guy.
Just surrounded. You're on a throne of candles.
He's like, you look like a successful guy, and I'm like, how can you tell? And he's like, you got so many
Your chair's
candles
melting.
around. Yeah, your house smells great, but it smells like it's burning down. It's a great episode.
It is a great episode.
It's really
Yeah.
good stuff.
Yeah,
It is.
It's a hoot.
And I'll tell you what, you end up with a film close to my heart. I want to see it made.
Yeah, we actually came up with a really good idea because you'll hear in the main episode Alexi's favorite video game adaptation, and it kind of builds off of that, but in a really cool and interesting
Ooh,
way.
you get a little teaser for the bonus ep in the main ep, so people listen to the main ep and they're like, oh, I want to hear that bonus ep.
You freaking betcha.
Nice. Doing your job. That's why you
And
won the
that's
big
the
$4.
I want the big $4.
All four of those.
All four of them.
Yeah.
We're going to round out the show with one last segment, and it's an oldie and a goodie, and I had thought of one finally, so I'm very happy to announce that the last segment is The Game of Life. It's The Game of Life, and it's brought to us this week by very special patron, Dump Days.
Rest in peace.
I was in the chamber choir. There we go. Thank you, Dump Days, for sponsoring this segment. And as usual, when we have a segment sponsored by the wonderful artiste Dump Days, we have a look at some of their art. Dump Days is a comic artist and sends in heaps on the creative channel and has an affinity for bin chickens. What a seamless transition. Yeah. I was just throwing it, and you still did manage the physical comedy of... Which is why we pay you the big bucks.
That couldn't have worked out better. Oh, Scotty.
So thank you to Dump Days for sponsoring the segment, and as usual, we'll have a look at one of Dump Days' comics, and while we do that, we'll pick some people to be the voices of it. Josh, if you'd be so kind. Ali, could you please play Ibis on the left, Ruby, Ibis on the right? Take it away.
Brr, it's so cold. I'm going to migrate somewhere tropical like Argentina.
Actually, Argentina is fairly cool. All year round, it borders on Chile.
Oh.
Chile! I like it. Oh.
Dump Days with that classic bin chicken humor. Thank you so much for
Love to see it.
keep the creative art coming in, Dump Days, and keep your patronage coming in as well. Thank you so much for sponsoring the segment. The Game of Life is a pretty quick segment where we go around the horn and we get all of us to just throw a little tip, a little bit of help that some people might need, a little bit of life coaching from the back pocket couches, something you might not know you needed a tip with. It doesn't have to be gaming related. Often it isn't. Ruby
Is last.
Ruby goes last?
Ruby goes last.
Ruby goes last.
Yeah.
Ali, as our guest this week, would you like to give the audience a bit of a life tip for their Game of Life?
Absolutely. You should read Wikipedia. So I have found that the more time I spend on little apps on my phone, the more depressed I become, but not if I go on wikipedia.com and learn about the world.
Okay.
Is there a Wikipedia app?
Yep, sure is.
That's cool.
Does it? This is my question as a follow-up.
That's cool. This is the...
That's right, Pete. You can get the app.
You can get the app from your favorite app store right now.
Available where all apps are sold.
How do you navigate your wiki reads? Is there a randomizer, or are you just starting?
Do you have a thought, or
Usually I will encounter something in my life. I'll be going through my day and there'll be something that I either remember or something will happen to me that I'll be like, I wish I knew more about that. And I'll write it down. I have a series of little notes in my notes app. Earlier, before the show started, I was reading you a list of freak reports from my recent honeymoon of just funny people that I've seen that I write down. I also write down things to look up.
Would you be able to read us any? Or
I couldn't possibly, it would ruin my life.
Oh, wow. Okay. So keep a private list of things that you want for future wikis, but your advice is to essentially not leave a thought hanging without some context, without something you could learn from said thought.
Yeah, famously, I can tell you one. I heard someone mention something called Jeff the Talking Mongoose. Have you heard of this?
No.
Okay. This Wikipedia changed the course of my life. I won't tell you the whole thing, but someone mentioned this story of like Jeff the Talking Mongoose as something that they'd heard about when they were a child. And I was like, that's interesting. Don't know what that is. Looked it up. It was a story of this like family living in
a house?
in a house.
It's being turned into a movie.
Yeah. So, but this
Okay.
was like years ago that this happened.
Yes.
And their family living in the house in the Isle of Man, they all claimed they had this like collective delusion, or was it real, that there was a talking mongoose living in their house that would talk to them, that would like tell them to start fires, that would like bully them and sort of drive them insane. He said a whole bunch of stuff, like he was going to split the atom. Anyway, and so then...
The mongoose. Yes.
Yeah,
Okay, yep.
Jeff. Yeah,
Yep.
that's right.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And so learning about that led me down a rabbit hole in Wikipedia to learn about like tulpas, which is like this idea that...
You find any opportunity to bring up tulpas, I swear to God.
I know what this is. Context.
Tulpa is the idea that that you can make something real by believing in it. So there's a whole community of people on
Like
the
fairies.
internet. If you sort of like Santa, like
Republicans.
we all believe that Santa is real
Yes.
and then we act differently and our lives are different as a result of the fact that we believe Santa is real. So is Santa real or is Santa not real?
Okay.
Even if it's not real, it's having a real tangible impact.
That's
on the
right.
world.
And like, what
it's
is
like
the
me
line?
and the studio creature. I keep talking about the studio
No, that's
creature
real.
because I hope that it one day comes to life
That's
and
you-
causes
that's Jeff.
trouble. Yeah.
Anyway, it's very fascinating. And so then now I'm on this Reddit called r/tulpas, which is like mostly like horny guys who think that like Zoe Kravitz is their personal tulpa.
Oh my God.
That's why you should look
Awesome.
things up on Wikipedia.
What?
Yeah.
So you think
That's such a weird, mic drop moment at the end of this interesting, like, journey that you've traveled down. Is that there's just a bunch of dudes who think that they've created Zoe Kravitz?
That's right.
I think it's an actually pretty natural end to any given story to end with, and dudes have somehow
They're
made it
ruining it with their
sexual and
horniness.
weird.
Yeah.
Shock
Okay,
horror.
no, totally. That's fair.
No, I back to your original point. I think there's something out of maybe bringing it all back to Wikipedia if you're trailing off on the internet into different, less, let's say, reputable sources, and going back to what is still kind of the most go-to source when it comes to things that are knowledgeable and you can learn something from. The film about the talking mongoose
Not
technically comes... You've seen it?
Yeah.
Oh, it wasn't good?
No, man.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
No, man, it's rough. It's
Yeah,
rough.
right.
Oh,
It's got
damn.
Simon Pegg as the detective who comes to
And
work out...
he is turning in a performance.
Oh, really? Oh, that's unfortunate. I love him.
Yeah.
I mean, but the only thing that
Making
caught me
rank.
was Neil Gaiman is the voice of Geff the mongoose.
That's right.
And it's not a good movie. It's
Well, it's spelled G-E-F.
It's GEF.
GEF.
Yeah.
It's kind of Geff.
Yeah.
My name Geff.
It's a GIF.
Geff.
Okay, thank you,
Yeah.
Ali. Read Wikipedia, everyone, please.
Fun fact.
Wait.
So while we wait for Josh to get a drink, fun fact. I am quoted as a source on Wikipedia, very specifically for the Twitch streamer Germa's Wikipedia page, which I consider an honor because I love Germa. But I am a source on there because I did a report on Kotaku about. Not report. I did a story about his card game that he kind of made, and I guess it was one of the first ones to do it. So I'm on there, and it makes me feel like a big smart guy.
Cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
Josh, you back?
Yes.
Can read.
I'm always here. I never left.
Peter. Game of life me.
I'll game of life you. And I'm stealing this from my wife.
Game of wife?
Game of wife.
Game of stealing
life.
from wife.
Game of stealing from wife. Steph gets a whole bunch of shit delivered to our house, and most of it is useless. But she, it is what it is. She got this thing. She's been doing a lot of pole dancing lately. She's like, that's her fitness thing.
Cool.
And she keeps hurting herself. And she got one of those. If you got a door, you got a gym.
You got a chin-up bar in your door?
Oh,
She got a chin-up bar for her door because she's trying to build her upper body strength so she can be on the pole longer. And it's just up all the time. So it's awesome. We just walk through the house and it's there, and you go like, I'll do a few chin-ups, and then you walk away.
I have one.
Yeah.
I used
So
to have
just
one in
get
my.
one?
I used to have one in
I'm
between my.
saying get one because they're not expensive and you can just like leave it on a door.
One of the notes in my notes app is
Get a shit up bar?
the entire script of the original Door Gym infomercial. Would you like to hear it?
Yes, please.
Okay. Imagine that you're seeing like workout footage. You want it, we got it. Get bigger, harder, and stronger with the all-new powerful Tower 200 from Body by Jake. You got a door, you got a gym. With the Tower 200.
No, you're doing it.
You get over 200 pounds of explosive resistance delivered through our multi-tension power cords and over 200 killer exercises that push your muscles to the max. No dumbbells, no machines, no memberships. And at this point in the ad, there's like a big flashing text that says, screw the gym.
Yeah.
You want bicep curls, chest fly, tricep extension, lat pull down, shoulder presses, crunches, squats, no problem.
Hey.
Yeah, and then it cuts to this guy, Greg Plitt, who's a West Point graduate Army Ranger. And it's just him. Oh, it's this guy doing the workout. But this is my favorite part of the ad. But if you're ready to get crazy, check out the mother of all workouts in our 11-minute body shredding routine that features Randy Couture's MMA-inspired move, the warrior, the demon, the freak. In just 11 minutes a day, you'll get bigger, harder, and stronger, guaranteed. And then it cuts to Randy Couture and he goes, this workout is insane. In seconds, the Tower 200 fits on any door in the house, office, or dorm. Plus, it's padded so there's no messing up your door. Get it done and get out. Brought to you by Body by Jake.
Amazing. That was so good.
I can't believe you brought up the door gym.
That's
one of my
amazing.
favorite topics.
I will say the door gym's a fucking mess. That thing.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah, you got a door, you got a gym, but you've also got a bunch of crap hanging on it. I know they say no mess, but like a chin-up bar, I had one for a while, and the good thing about it is you can't often walk under it without doing one. Like that's the point. You go, oh, may as well, woo, and just like do an ice swing on it. But that door gym
It's a
is
jungle gym.
Yeah, that door gym is just a mess of pulleys and shit. That like
It's
It's
funny.
so
Yeah,
ugly.
yeah. This thing is not that. It's literally just like a chin-up bar. And I don't know how it would work on a normal door because it's like, we live in a bushfire area and we have a brick house and we have metal door, like steel door frames.
Yep.
And so it's like, I trust it. And I didn't trust it at first, but now I do. And so I don't know. Have you used one on a wooden door frame?
No, but my high school boyfriend had one in his bedroom, and so I just like permanently associate it with like the smell of a 15-year-old boy.
Yeah.
So I can never use that.
Yeah. It's still BO. You can smell Lynx Africa, but it's not fully covering BO.
Yeah.
The only thing mine eventually damaged the wall above. Like it eventually started to like the padding wore off and it was chipping bits of paint and stuff like that. And it was a bit sad. Also, it was in my kitchen.
Marvin mentions in the chat that they just absolutely ruin the door frame.
Yeah.
It
That's
just-
what mine did.
That's what I would figure. Yeah, I mean, we have steel door frame, so it's not doing a thing. It's gonna live there
Also,
forever.
it's not doing a thing. All right, get yourself a chin-up bar on your door. Stolen from wife. I'll keep mine brief because Ruby's going next with the last one, and I have no idea what you're going to talk about.
It's actually not that big a deal.
Okay.
But you were like, you have to go first, and then Ruby power
I
played
need to
you.
flesh it out in my head.
Power played
Yep,
you.
fair
and was
enough.
like, I'm going last, and won.
Mine is Christmas
All I
related.
do is win.
Okay.
I tend to. My family lives in Melbourne, and so I go down and spend Christmas with them, which means decorations and Christmas themed things are all Melbourne based. My Sydney place, nothing Christmassy. I don't do a tree. I don't do anything like. I never do decorations at my
Grinch?
place. Sorry,
Are you the Grinch?
not quite, but. I like getting into Christmas spirit, but I just don't have the energy to do it. And I'd be just doing the We have it here. This is where I get my Christmas feel from Steph decorating the studio, or you in this case. Thank you very much.
I mean, I didn't decorate it very well. I just bought a tree.
It's a bit shit.
And I'm like, Steph will decorate that.
It's not shit, it's nice.
But I get my feel from here or from when I go home. That said, I found a little thing that made me feel particularly Christmassy this year. And at the start of December, I got my coffee on my way to work, and I had a packet of peppermint mints in the car, popped the mint in, and a sip of coffee. Oh, baby, it was Christmas. I don't know what it was. It was like a candy cane coffee
This is why the
delight.
segment is dumb as hell.
But if you're not feeling the Christmas spirit by the 7th of December, and just none of the decorations are doing it for you, and it's too early to like start laying into the nog or any of the
Are
actual
you
stuff.
talking like a
that's-
fisherman's friend?
No. This was like
like one of those little circles with the red
eclipse.
and the white.
It might have been an eclipse even, but it was
Ew.
peppermint.
What?
Hang on.
I thought you meant like a fun little mint.
Yeah,
No,
like
but
a,
you mix
like
it
a
with
candy cane.
Mix it with the
Yeah.
coffee, and you get some kind of hybrid Starbucks. Yes,
That's the calculation.
that's it. And it just hit me, and I was like, "It's fucking Christmas."
You know how you know how we were talking about experiences not being universal?
No one has had this but me, and I'm sharing it with them now and saying, "Go and do it. You will feel like Saint Nick himself with a coffee boost. It's wonderful. Try it tomorrow morning. It can be peppermint. It can be spearmint. It will be a candy cane coffee delight."
But it's not a candy cane. You just got an Eclipse mint.
No, but
Yuck.
It blended with a sugared latte. It happens. Don't doubt people's Game of Life tips.
I'm very
This is
doubtful.
a safe space.
This is like you making coffee butter. Where it was
That was good.
But it was a lie.
It's another coffee one.
Yeah, it's a coffee.
Yeah.
Anyway, give it a shot. Maybe mix it with something else, but put a little peppermint in
Wait,
whatever.
what do you mean mix it with something else? So,
Put a little peppermint in your beverage at the start of December if you want to feel a bit of a
so
Christmas
not just
spirit.
coffee, anything.
Well, my experience has been coffee,
Milk?
but it might work with a tea.
Put a Mentos in your soft drink.
Put a Mentos in your Coke, and you're not going to believe what happens next.
Lucky Cat says, "Is this actually worse than all of Beat's food take?" I think it might
No,
be.
everyone's mentioning how they've got like peppermint mochas, and someone puts like mint.
Yeah, but
in
they
coffee.
make those specifically.
You
but-
just,
yeah,
but he's-
you
this
have
is-
just put an
This
Eclipse
was a
mint in
no,
your
no,
coffee.
fuck no. This was a surprise. The thing was, I wasn't expecting it. I didn't make this and go, Feliz Navidad, and throw it back. I was in the car. I wasn't feeling Christmassy. I combined the two in my morning day commute, and suddenly I could hear sleigh bells.
The sleigh
it was
bells
that
were ring-a-ling,
they were
ding,
ring a ding
ding,
ding.
ding-a-ling. Yeah,
So
okay.
that's it. That's my Game of Life. I thought of it this afternoon. Leave me alone. Ruby?
I think that's great. I think it's delightful. My one, you know, a lot of different things feed into mine, and funnily enough, what you said actually feeds into it, because you know that's like such an interesting idea, but it's also very strange and alarming, and it's like something that's been done before, but also like, can a man really not love Christmas until he puts an Eclipse mint in his coffee? You know, it's interesting, it's fascinating. And then we also go over to you, where you say, you know, you get one of these chin up machines. You could just go to the gym, or you could just simply spend no money at all and do some sit-ups. Go against your wall, you know, like
It was chin ups in the door, not sit up against a wall.
No, I mean you can do
got a
all
wall
sorts of
against him.
exercises without buying a thing. And then your thing, who needs to read? Reading is boring, and we should do something else, like play video game or maybe go for a swim. And the thing is, this all leads back to the fact that this morning I left my house after videoing myself locking all of my doors and making sure everything was locked. Also making sure my fridge was closed, because for the past few weeks I've believed that I've kept the fridge open when I left, despite not even opening it at all. And, you know, going through the motions, filming everything, and then leaving the house and checking on all the cats, leaving the house, and then walking up the street and going, oh my God, one of the cats got out. I know it. I just know it. Also, I left all the doors unlocked. And so I went back to my house, opened the door, which was locked, mind you, to find the cat that I thought had gotten out standing right in front of the door looking at me. And I said, well, fuck me, I guess, and slammed the door shut.
Did you lock it again?
And that door was locked. And the door was locked and everything was fine. I also, have been under the impression that just many bad things are going to happen to me. For what reason? I live a very good, beautiful life, but at the same time, a piano might fall on my head. If it's going to happen to anyone, it would happen to me. And so with all your funny little things that really could be done in a much different way, even easier, for example, and also me being insane, my advice is don't trust anyone, not even yourself.
That's sad.
No, it's not. It's strong.
What?
I'm sorry.
I'm waiting for it to. I'm waiting for it to come up. Josh is like,
he's
do I
writing
type
all.
this?
He's writing all of that out.
Yeah.
Okay, so wait, I want to walk this back for a second because this is certifiably fucking insane. The thing that made the most sense out of all of that was you've mentioned that you've occasionally gone like, shit, I can't remember if I left something open, and I've genuinely been like, that sucks to have that, like, to occasionally, and you said it happens a lot, you question little things and that like you then lose a lot of sleep over, or you can't come up with the decision of have I actually done that thing. And to say you were going around filming you closing and locking doors, I'm like, that's fucking genius.
Yeah.
Like if that's something that does trouble you, and I'm sure a lot of people have that, like a semi-OCD kind of vibe that it's like I need to make sure this thing worked or I didn't, do it right. Filming it is a great little way so you can be at work and not go, I have to go home, the fridge is open. I'm like,
I'll
Ruby,
film myself and
check
then
your
I'll
phone.
go anytime
Let me watch my video
I watch my
diary
video.
of- yeah.
And you know what? You know what's even better? And maybe this is actually even a better bit of
we're getting
advice.
to a tip.
Is a fun little way to do it. If you do feel insane for filming yourself locking all your doors, hear me out. If you do feel insane, it's gonna make you feel more insane, but it's kind of funny. To like kind of do it like a show, like putting on a show for yourself. Like
Now
this
I will
morning,
write-
Guys,
this
welcome
morning,
to the Ruby Locks Up the House
Yeah,
episode
literally.
2013.
It's literally that. It's literally me going, hello and welcome to Ruby can't remember if she closed the doors or not.
Boo.
And it's a fun
There's
time.
the boo I was
Yeah,
going to give you
there's the
from
boo.
before.
There's the boo.
No, that I can see that being a thing. My worry would be like, do you need to delete every day? You need to clear that last one because you might look at it the next day and be like, was
You
this?
watch,
your worry?
you watch yesterday. Yeah.
That's what you're worried about?
There's a lot to worry about.
There's a lot to worry about, but you might look at it and go, is that the fridge from yesterday or the day before? You need to check the timestamp on that thing. And you just fill your phone with
Do you think
just closing
do
doors.
you think you are like forgetful or just not present when you're doing the thing?
I think a bit of both.
Yeah, okay.
Bit of both. And the thing is like, it's a lot of people telling me to get therapy. Very funny. Already in it. But
when you've got your own show.
no, it's working fine. The thing is like it's also a thing of like when I say don't trust anyone, especially you. The anyone part is a goof of funny, but like when I say sometimes you need to not trust yourself when you're telling yourself in your head that you didn't lock any of your doors. Like
Right.
Okay.
That's right.
like
Don't-
because you did. You
Yeah.
probably did. Like and if you didn't
So you
film
could
yourself
spin.
in a funny way.
You could spin.
But you didn't
don't
trust
trust
that you
yourself
filmed it.
to believe in yourself. Believe that your former self did lock the doors.
Do you think
That
maybe the filming it is the first step to believing yourself?
Yeah.
That's one thing you can use as a resource to check and go, I didn't believe it, but I did.
Thoughts?
I would say most therapists would say don't do that.
Yeah. Okay.
Because that's sort of a checking maneuver, which,
Oh, okay.
which makes OCD worse.
Okay, I have no knowledge of training in this, so the fact that I left on that I went, brilliant. Someone should patent this.
Everyone should keep doing this.
But I used it I'm saying as a stepping stone, and that shows progress.
I think a big thing is for me is like
We should point out that none of us are licensed therapists.
oh my god.
But this segment is where we give you life tips.
Yeah.
I'm just being goofy.
Mine's drink vinegar and eat a hollowed out part of bread.
Everyone stop being worried.
Ruby,
Oh,
make a show about your anxiety.
that's a good idea.
Oh,
That's a good
okay.
idea.
Well, there we go. That was a tip in some form or another. But yeah, potentially.
Oh, I also have a second one.
No.
No. It's okay. It's good. It's good. My advice is don't take advice from people on Twitch.
I mean, yeah, that's a given.
And that's the end of it.
Well, there we go. Some wonderful tips. Don't listen to me. Ruby.
That's probably a good one.
Peter, your tip was do chin-ups in your door.
Love the gifts that your wife sends to the front door.
And then do chin-ups in
And
those
then
doors.
put it on that door and then do a chin up on it.
Ali, probably with the most reasonable tip here, is educate yourself by looking at reputable sources on the internet. And if you're doing that around the time of Christmas and you're not feeling it, pop a little spearmint in your coffee. It'll fix what ails you.
There's a great new article on Wikipedia that's just gone up called
Just about like-
Eclipse and Coffee. Why you need it.
The perfect match. That was The Game of Life, and that was the episode. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Ruby, what's coming up next?
Coming up next is the post show. And the post show is sponsored by Oznaminator. Do we not get a? There
We
go.
do. We just always do that out of order because it's meant to be the credits, and he threw it on the bus.
Yeah, he did throw me under the bus. We're supposed to do the credits first.
You know what?
So-
Change the colour.
It's changed the color.
Change the colour.
We can change the color of that one.
The problem is everyone's always trying to ruin and sabotage me.
It's true. It's because we're
You
untrustworthy.
trust us, Ruby. You shouldn't trust us.
No, I'm kidding. I love you guys.
Yeah, but you shouldn't trust us.
Oh, don't say that. Don't say that. I trust you guys. I trust you guys with my life.
We should read the credits.
All right.
It's the end of the show. I thought of, we often do these credits. Someone likes to read them in a new voice that someone's discovered over the course of the episode. I think we discovered a voice in Ali's
Your fitness bro voice.
bro instructor voice.
Get it done.
And as our guest this week, if you'd be ever so kind, the credits are going to pop up on the screen. Can you, with your best telemarketing, but also like, who was the MMA guy?
Randy Couture.
Your Randy Couture voice. Please give us the credits.
Fuck, okay. The mods, Cat. I don't know how to say that. Sinchuk, Zara.
You can't be wrong.
Liz Dahlia, Sith Cat, Phoenix O'Lion, Disturb 77. This is what I imagine Twitch streaming is. Jess. Caboose. What the Shark, Snail XD, Lord Shad Demar.
That'll do it. If you order now, you'll get a...
Gus Beard Wrangler, Dump Days, a Pierist Baker, Honey Bun Bun. This is
running out of
really ruining my life. Rock Lubricator, Reese Wild, Foot Severer, Moth Captain, Wardrobe Department, Orenishi,
Yep.
Remover of Foot from Gus's Mouth, Babblin Bluffin.
Clearly lost the energy from the workout. She's maxing out.
I can't do this anymore. Gary Chen Supplier, Burry, Technician Kane Lavos, Scotty Groomer, Glowing Might, Best Boy, it's Jep, Box Boy, Boxy, Scotty Breeder, Biff Ross, Scotty Fetus. This is really why you're doing this to me. Super Studios. I love
Jazz Hands Coordinator, Jazzles! Come on, give me a workout, pump.
Guys, I got laid off this week. Designer of Worlds, hey, Timothy, Community Hot Boy, Necrotex, and his hot boy, the Coastal City, Remover of Sass, Sassel's House Fan. No, please make me keep going. Music for Hire, Dinosaur Supervisor, Phil Tippett, Credit Supervisor, Oznaminator.
You did so good.
Bravo.
Nailed it, Queen.
Guess who just got our job as credit reader?
And big thank you, because next up is the post show, which is sponsored by Oznaminator.
Sure is.
It's
And
a double call out. You're lucky.
what?
Oznaminator gets 2 calls out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Or is this
We should
twice
take
as
one
much?
away from Oznaminator next week.
Yeah.
When do we? Other time.
No, just sneakily before the credits. Sneakily before the credits, it's fine.
Oh well, that's your fault.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But I walked it back.
Oh, so it's my fault.
It is now.
No, it's Oznaminator's fault.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you should feel bad. You shouldn't feel bad. Thank you very much for sponsoring this segment. The post show. Anyway, for Oznaminator. Everybody be chill. For Oznaminator, we look up some Aussie rhyming slang. And everybody has to guess what it means. So I've got one here. Plates of meat.
Did we do this one?
Yep.
Yeah,
Did
we
we?
done this one.
Then a
I
different
still
one.
don't know what it is.
What is it? What is it?
You were on that episode.
I probably asked the question. That's why I don't
Yeah.
Pretty
remember.
sure you got it.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Oh,
No, I
okay.
think-
then
no, I
then
think
let
I
me
asked
do a
it.
different one. Let me do a
can do
different.
it.
Hold on.
You, Ali, rhyming slang? Familiar?
Do you know
I
what?
mean, I know I'm aware of the concept.
That's all
yeah,
you need.
cool. Okay. Damn, these are crazy. Monkey's fist. Have we done that one?
I don't think so.
No. Okay.
I remember
A monkey's fist.
Monkey's fist.
Okay, can you use it in a sentence without giving it away?
I'm monkey's fist.
Is it like drunk? Like pissed?
There we
It's
go.
pissed.
Yeah.
Is
it's
it angry or
pissed.
drunk?
It just says pissed.
Yeah, then that's both.
That's
So
both.
it's a
You're
little
an
bit
angry
of column
drunk.
A,
You're
little bit of column B.
angry
Yeah.
drunk. You're a
Yeah.
monkey's fist.
Yeah.
There we go. Learning.
I'm monkey's fist, so I went and did a monkey's fist. Do you say I pissed?
I did a piss.
I do, but I also
So I
like
monkey's fist.
most commonly think of alcohol. Like when even internally, my internal monologue goes, when I smell alcohol, someone's on the piss.
When I
can smell
alcohol.
piss. Like when I smell alcohol, which is a bad thing because yeah.
Or getting on the piss.
Getting on the
Getting
piss.
on the
Which,
monkey's fist.
If you're not an Australian person, I feel like if you hear someone say "getting on the piss,"
That doesn't mean a
that
lot.
sounds
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
Who would say that? But yeah, so that was the thing.
Segue from that to an outro. Go for it.
Yeah, why not?
Who would say that? Well, I'll tell you who'll say this. Ruby.
Sometimes you don't need a segue. You can just do a really hard cut that's awful. So thank you everyone for tuning into the show, especially those who support us on Patreon. Please share the show with your friends and family. We really appreciate it. You can head to backpocket.gg for links to everything, which includes our Discord, the socials, and our Redbubble store if you want to buy a thing. Ali, do you want to plug your game?
Sure. Yeah, you can follow Mystique's game, like Mystic Antiques, Mystiques.
How many times have you had to do that?
So many times. Because it sounds like some people think I'm saying mistakes with a weird accent, which it could be.
It could be.
Yep.
But it won't be a mistake to follow us online.
Oh, good.
That's good.
That's a good selling point.
That's a
and
segue
then
and a half.
I think we asked you
Well,
once
link,
on
I
the
guess.
show, even potentially, still in development, but you've got goals for sort of next year or so, or will we be able to hear anything else about it soon? Exclusive? Anything on the show? Shut
Sure.
up, Gus.
Yeah, it'll come out at some point.
Good answer.
And take the time.
Yeah.
No,
That's allowed.
we are in pre-production right now, and so we are working on getting to a demo. So we're hoping to have a demo sometime next year, like early next year, so that'll be out there for people to play.
Amazing.
Awesome.
And then someone's going to give us a whole bunch of money, and if that's you, give me your address.
Amazing.
There are going to be a lot
And
of
that's
give me your
Ali's game of
address
life.
memes
Give her
in,
your address.
in our creative, I think. There's going to be a lot of your face. Give me
We'll
your
be
address.
back next week for something special. Is that right?
Josh,
Josh,
do you want
I think you got a bit of
to...
information about next week. We're losing control of the show.
Yeah, the hosts are going to have no idea what Nicrotex and I are doing. And, do you guys hear that?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah,
my
yeah, we
God.
do.
Oh, that
Josh.
sounds kind of nice.
Oh, hang on.
It's
Is it
going to
just-
be next Thursday.
Oh,
The Gaming Spectacular, hosted by myself and Nick Belling.
Oh,
goodness.
shit.
Yes, Josh.
Are you guys going to wear suits with bow
Yeah.
ties?
Maybe.
You better.
Please.
I want to see a teal Nicro and a caramel Josh.
It should be, it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot
That's
of
so
fun.
cool. Yeah, awesome. So
And
yeah,
I will not take any questions.
Cool.
we won't be asking you questions, but I can tell you, the audience, that Nick and Josh and Will have been working on this together for probably a month now, maybe even longer.
Nick and I are probably a couple months.
Yeah.
But yeah, Will's been roped in now as well to help us
Yeah.
with some of the creative. So
Yeah, very excited to see them come together. And we just have to rock up and sit on the couch and
That's it.
have a show happen at
None
us.
of the prep you saw for tonight's well-oiled and tightly put together
Oh
episode.
yeah, this is a
will be happening next week.
Smooth machine.
Indeed. But yes, you can tune in to catch that next week, and then the following week is, I believe,
Christmas bash,
last step for the year.
19th.
it's also episode 150.
Hot damn!
The Christmas
Cool.
episode this year. Yeah.
That's too many.
That's awesome.
We're gonna
gotta-
start organizing that one as well.
We got to
Ooh.
cancel this thing.
But yeah, that'll be the last episode of the year, and then of course Pocket Pals will be taking the spot following that. And again, make sure to go check out that form if you do want to get involved with that episode, maybe help Nicrotex out, or maybe part of that show as well. But either way, still a lot of content on this channel here. It's a good one.
And we'll see those of you at the Back Pocket tier in the post show. But for now, see you the hell later. Is that it?
That could be it.
Is that all?
Doesn't have to be anything else.
Is
Should we
that
wa-
everything?
Should we wave?
I'm waving.
Bye. Love yous.